I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only, you ain't got no membership. They free General Flynn out the cage cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Justin Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they.
Hello, everybody. Hey, John Marciano. How's it going? I got a little snack here. I got some cashews, some green tea. I am ready for tonight. Thank God it's the last night. Thank God. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Tad. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you guys here. They are having a little band moment because I'm sure that we're gonna have some keynote speakers after 9 o'clock. I should have did this for like the whole 4 days and not spend 5 or 6 hours on a stream because that was insane. Hey, San Diego. It's cool finally. Hi, Julie. Hello, been watching you every night. Yes, thank God we'll be done tonight. Yes, I know. I'm so glad that you guys are watching with me. I appreciate that. We are learning together. Here for the love. Hello. And we say hello to everyone in the comments. Cool. It's kind of nice learning with you guys. You know what I mean? Jimmy sent me some information on Twitter of the things that we've been talking about these past few days. So I was reading a lot just now. So I feel so blessed to have other XJWs in the community that are willing to talk about these things. Totally blessed. Okay, I am going to put a link in the chat. If there are any mods for Vern's channel, maybe you guys can pin it to the top of the chat because I don't think I can do that on Vern's YouTube channel. But I am streaming from both channels, so let's see. Coming up, the Chicks and Kerry Washington. Oh, Lord.
With me one time, DNC say.
Wow. They're really playing this kind of music at the DNC? I'm shocked. And I don't care. I'll play it because I'm demonetized on all of these political shows. I wonder why. Can't believe it. They're playing this at the DNC. That's a big no-no for witnesses, right? The type of music that we listen to. I'm very sorry, but that's horrible. I hope it doesn't get cut off on Vern's channel because, you know, Canada's a little gay like that. Hi, Keith. Hey, 250. Thanks, Rita Satan, for letting Democrats gather and abort babies. Oh my God. I spoke about this the other day. I'm not going to get into it tonight, but I can't even believe it. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. Okay, let me go back. Getting distracted. Oh my God, Bruno Mars. I love him. Oh my God, Beyonce. I hate Beyonce now. Sorry. Just don't like her. Okay, so I pinned the chat on my channel, on my chat. And I forgot to add Okay, I'll turn that off. I hate Beyonce. I stopped listening to Beyonce a very long time ago. I'm not doing it. I looked into like the Alamany rabbit hole and stuff like that, and Hollywood and selling your soul for fame and money and stuff like that. And I really do believe in it. So I don't participate. I don't buy music anymore. I don't listen to I don't stream them, nothing. If you were to show a picture of Beyonce and Taylor Swift to any one of my children, they wouldn't even know who you're talking about. Mm-mm. Yes, 250. I'm feeling you. Why no drag queens at the DNC? Stop it. Stop playing with me. They could go to libraries and read books to kids. Okay, that's where they belong. They have the wrong flags. What kind of flag they got? No, those are American flags. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. May Colty or Jim will come by and pin it. Oh yeah, Jay. Yeah, Jay. If they do come, hopefully they can pin it. Or I'll just keep posting it in the chat. Oh my god, it's just so Don Lemonhead predicted there would be a celebrity when Kamala accepts her full nomination. He guessed Beyonce, George Bush, or Taylor Swift. Anyone hear anything? No, I didn't. But isn't he one of them? So I don't know. Is he like? Is that a jab or something, or is that just an opinion? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Okay, hopefully. And I gotta figure out how to add a mod for my channel too. This is the only week that I am ever streaming every single day. Ever. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed seeing me and listening to me for 4 days straight. But I don't think I will ever stream this long or this much again. Oh my god, I don't know. Disclaimer, you may feel the need to run to the bathroom and do one thing or another. Oh my god. Cheese heads. Yeah, that's the first time that I see that. And I was like, why they got that on their head? And I thought it was like a joke about rats, maybe, like being a rat. But no, it's because Wisconsin, the cheese comes from Wisconsin. So anybody, I guess that's the Wisconsin section. Deborah, I totally enjoyed you getting us through this. Yeah, yes, I agree. And you guys got me through it too, because I would have not watched it if it wasn't for other people. But I want to watch. I'm forcing myself to watch this so that I can learn the enemy. I can learn, and I mean that in a figure of speech. I don't mean that they are literal enemies and that we are divided, even though that's how I feel. But I'm just saying, figuratively speaking, you have to know how the enemy thinks about you, how they view you, and in which direction they want to go, because they obviously are not on the same direction as us, even though we're all Americans and we should be on the same page. This is exactly why George Washington was against political parties. I am against political parties. They should all be abolished, and it should just be the American party, and everybody should vote and listen to all 7 candidates debate on running for president. So that's just my opinion. Jimmy says they are the enemy. yeah, you know what? But I did the co-op today, right? So we went to the library today, and the Orthodox moms were like, oh wait, hold on. What the heck? Okay. And then the Orthodox moms were like, people are not our enemy. It's the evil one. Who is our real enemy? And it's Satan the devil. Yes, Satan the devil, not the individual people. And I agree with that. I don't think that they are literal enemies unless they, deliberately say it. You know what I mean? Like, they hate us. They hate you. Hi, Gigi.
Hey, oh, you know what? Tomorrow, Donald Trump, when he's here in Glendale, Phoenix, he's literally like less than a mile away from where I live. Less than a mile. I could walk there, but it's going to be a traffic nightmare. Oh, I don't want him to be here. That's, selfish of me, but yeah. But and it's super hot. But anyways, I'm glad you talked about that, because I did get a few text messages and actually a phone call. I'm not going to name names, but about this your videos. They love you and everything, but
Mhm.
they got triggered because some of the people that listen to you are Democrats or they're of the other
Really?
persuasion. Yes, but they like
Mm.
you. But so some of the stuff that you were saying, my brother Jesse or Jimmy or whatever, you're talking, I could see how it would trigger them. Kind of like when we're apostates talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, they get triggered,
Mhm.
right? And so I like the fact that you said that about, okay, who's our enemy? Satan, the devil.
Right.
That's Jesse trying to get a hold of me. But the point is this. It's interesting that when Jesus was here, he addressed his anger and his frustration at the leadership. But he
Right.
was very clear that he treated the people with super dignity, kindness, and patience. Now, my brother Jesse, if you noticed on the show, because he uses this phrase all the time, he goes, "Our Christian," he goes, "Our Democrat brothers and sisters need to understand this." Now,
Right.
I really like that because if you preface Ruby, our Democrat brothers and sisters, uh, and then you say what you have to say. How can you insult them? How can you call them our Democrat brothers and sisters are the son of Satan, the devil? It doesn't work. It doesn't jive. They're not your brothers and sisters if you're going to call them the devil, right? It's like my mom and dad would always make us give our grandma, our aunts, and uncles kisses. My dad,
Mhm.
if he saw us like ever not kiss my mom, like say we go to a wedding and my mom, we're
Mhm.
40 years old and my mom comes in and I don't give my mom a kiss, my dad will open up a can of whoop ass, like you know. And so
Yes.
when you say that, you know what our Democrat brothers and sisters need to understand that illegal immigration has not caused one or two murders, but every day we can show you, we can document the murders. And so you address it this way. And I'm not here to preach to anybody or to knock Jimmy or anybody, but I real I really think we can do two things. We can be very forceful in our opinion and say we are not going to move on this issue, but
Mhm.
you are our brothers and sisters, and we make a distinction between the average Democrat and the leadership. Because look, I'm just going to say this real quick. RFK Jr. is a Democrat, and he looks like he's going to cross over. So, how are
Mhm.
we going to get more people to be like Robert Kennedy to say, "Hey, come on over. The water's warm." And
Mhm.
and I'm going to be the first one to say that I'm guilty of this. And she was triggered even by my comments, but because we have good relationship, she goes, "I
Mhm.
wanted to talk to you, Gilbert." And
Mhm.
but that's just my thing. And like I say, I'm not preaching. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong. And even my
Mhm.
brother Jesse kind of like disagreed with me a little bit, but I want to give kudos to my brother Jesse for always saying that our Democrat brothers and sisters need to understand that this is not about politics. This is about life and death. This is about.
So
Mhm.
right, right. So I mean, did she say like I offended her or them, whoever reached out to you?
Yeah, and a couple text messages for two different people, and the one that and then the one that called me. They love you. It's just, and I says, you know what? Uh, Benjamin Franklin says that friends are like fish; they
Mhm.
begin to stink after 3 days. So sometimes, we can't be friends all the time. Sometimes we rub off each other. And I says, well, maybe you just need to lay off of Ruby, let her do her thing, and come back next week. And she goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I go, so, but yeah, but she called me because she goes, I love her and I don't want to lose anything, you know. And I go, yeah, you got triggered, but we we all are guilty of this. Of like as Jehovah's Witnesses, we did the same thing. So uh but I'm not saying that we should soften our stance. No.
Exactly right. I was just gonna say that even though if
Mhm,
anybody does get offended, off screen, on screen, whatever,
mhm,
I agree exactly what Gigi said. I'm not here to pacify
mhm,
to people's emotions or to feelings or to
mhm,
sugarcoat anything. And this is why I knew that I had to start my own show so that I am not censored on anybody else's platform. That's why you start your own platform so that you can discuss your ideas openly. And if somebody gets offended, they can't kick me off as my show. Like I'm the one who started this.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that you brought that up. And I'm not really gonna apologize for anything that I have said. Everything that I have said, I truly believe in it. That's the difference between me and politicians or people who in these political parties or whatever. I actually tell you what I believe in, and I'm not gonna apologize for my opinions. But thank you for sharing that with me.
And the last thing is Jimmy's shirt is right on, because I say the same thing. The road to hell is paved with your feelings. It's true. However, it's interesting that same person that called me, because we kind of calmed it down a little bit, she wanted to find out if that abortion bus was real or not.
Oh yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is real.
But she did. But that's the whole point. So I think she's going to go over there and investigate. And all I'm trying to say is that we want people to be like Robert Kennedy and say, "Hey, it's not your fault. Come join us." And Jimmy's right. Put your feelings aside. This is about life and death. People are dying on the border. When your dollar is destroyed, people die of starvation.
Yes.
These are so we can still do both. That's what I'm saying. And thank you again for letting me speak.
Hello to Jimmy and hello to Tad.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Tad.
Hey, Tad.
Gigi and I. And Ruby. Certainly, in my opinion, I don't think everything can be divided into good and evil, or light and darkness. My opinion. Thank you.
Can I give my opinion on this?
Yes. Thank you, Tad. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yes.
Okay. So just like the Jehovah's Witnesses that are still in Watchtower, there are some good people still there. They're brainwashed and indoctrinated and don't know how to wake up, or maybe just choose not to because they're just so invested in Watchtower. Doesn't mean that they're evil people. Okay. Same thing can be said for those of different political persuasions. However, I will say I'm going to have to disagree with some who think that we're not fighting a good versus evil thing or whatever, because through my research and from what I found, and others as they go along their research, they may find the same thing. We'll see. But through my research, I totally believe that we are in a battle of good versus evil. And the people that want to control the world, that want to depopulate the earth, want to prey on little children, those people are evil. So when I say that there is a true enemy, there is. In my opinion, through the research I've done. I'm not telling anyone else to believe that, but this is what I believe. I believe we have a true existential threat from a group of people that want to control us all, and they are the true enemy, and they need to be done away with. That's how I feel.
Agreed. Because it's not just the Democratic Party. It's the whole deep state, the whole government.
Yeah.
I don't care what political party. It's good versus evil. And whoever pushes a good bill versus a bad bill, an evil bill, and they abort babies outside of the DNC in a bus.
Yeah. 25 kids.
That's what gets me.
Yeah. 25 kids have already been aborted this week at the DNC.
I've heard of that. And I want to get like I wish the news would report on it so that it can be like a source. But I've just seen it on Twitter, so there's a lot of people just talking about it. But that's disgusting to me. That's my views on abortion have changed ever since I had to go through it. And I spoke to Jimmy about this a little bit the other day. But when I had to do that, when I went through that, I regretted it later. And I I felt like I disrespected myself, and I disrespected my own belief system, because I still feel Christian even though I'm just inquiring, but like I still believe in God. So why would I do something I know is wrong according to the Bible if you want to be Christian? So to me, it's like, yeah, you cannot be wishy-washy. You can't be lukewarm about these things. You need to have an answer when these issues arise. And they are the ones who are making it political. It's not supposed to be a political issue. Health care, a mask, a shot, abortion, whatever. None of that. I'm so anti-fed that I don't think the government should have any say in any of those things. But
And
at
you're
the
right.
same time, you're not going to have the right to do whatever you want and then call it healthcare or
Correct.
call it something else that it is not what it is. It's murder.
Yep. Correct.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jimmy. I agree with you when you said that this is definitely good and a fight between good and evil. But I'm going to quote you because today I just tuned in just to see what was happening with Alex Jones, and I turned it off right away because it didn't matter that everything he was saying was factual and stuff like that, but he was hyperventilating. And I thought to myself, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. So okay, let's just say somebody kills Donald Trump, like Alex Jones is saying, but he is whipping up the crowd with hate and anger that he might cause one of our own Republicans to go and kill in retaliation, because this is what you do when you're filled with anger and hate. All I'm saying is that when you fight good and evil, all of us do good in, and I'm guilty of it, but we do good in making sure our aim is target. Like, I got to go back and do the argument better, and we're not going.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's all I'm trying to say. And I'm the first one to be guilty of this. So
Let me tell you how I feel about Alex Jones.
Mhm.
I don't trust the guy.
Mhm.
I never have.
Mhm.
And yes, he has put out a lot of red pills throughout the years. Yes, he's done that. But for the same reason that you just cited is the reason why I don't trust him, because he whips up the hate and the anger.
Mhm.
If you're in a battle that we're in, the number one tool you have is love.
Correct.
And when I do my work, I do it out of love. I don't try to whip people up into hating something or whatever. I'm trying to give people knowledge. And, for some folks, they're not ready for that knowledge yet, and that's okay. But as long as I know I'm doing what I do out of love, then I'm doing the right thing as far as in this battle. Alex Jones, he's just too over the top, and it pushes that anger, and I don't like that. Because yes, you're going to find somebody who is right wing, and they're going to be listening to Alex Jones, and they're going to get all riled up in the hate, and they're going to do something. But hey, that's what the deep state wants.
Yes.
They want somebody to go, and they want a patriot to go do something like that. Because then the media will be all over it. And that's why when I was on Facebook, and I'm going to start to do it more on Twitter or X, is I'm going to remind people, stay peaceful. Because they can't battle that.
Right. They want you to break the law so they could come after you.
Exactly.
And you know what? Deborah Sellers on the last comment, I'm amazed at impressed how self-control MAGA has shown. And everybody's been saying this, and it's because of Christianity. When Donald Trump got shot, the crowd didn't run away. In any Democrat crowd, they would be running like stampedes.
Yep.
But so she's right. Deborah's right on this one.
Yeah. Let me give you guys another little thing to keep an eye out. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but just be aware that this could be a possibility. Citing back what you said, what Alex Jones said about Trump, that they're wanting to kill him. I have told everybody before that I do believe that the deep state has their own little Trump clone. So don't be surprised if they off that clone and try to say it was Donald Trump. Just saying, just something to look out for. Don't be surprised. So you really, the news is, there's going to be a lot of news that pops off over the next 3 months. And
Mhm.
just remember to keep your emotions in check, no matter what it is, whether Trump goes to jail, whether Trump gets killed. Don't be surprised. Just keep it in check. It's just some
No,
advice.
nah, chill. So the
That's what-
assassination tip,
Is
the
that-
assassination attempt wasn't enough. You don't think that was enough?
is
You
that something-
Here's the
something-
thing. Here's the thing. When you have a bank, when you have somebody robbing a bank, and the cops are called in to answer the call, the cops get to the outside of the bank. The robber runs out. Does the robber just throw his hands up and say, "Oh, you got me," blah 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 blah? No. They get in their car. They try to run away. They're hitting other cars, running over everything, trying to get away. And then when the cop finally stops them, what does the robber do? Does he get out? "Oh, I'm sorry, you caught me." No. If he's got a gun, he's going to try to shoot the police officers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That robber is the deep state. They've been caught. They know it. They're not going to stop fighting and doing what they do until the very freaking end. So, will they try to go after Trump again? Don't put it past them. Will they try to put Trump in jail? Don't put it past them.
and
But
you
I'm,
know,
yeah.
I
So,
say the same thing in it, but I say it differently. I use the illustration because in some of the old movies, they burn a building and on the corner, and the police and the firefighters go to that building. But on the other side of the building, the bank is there, and that's where they're doing the heist.
oh
Because
yeah,
ain't nobody looking. So that has always stuck with me because I thought, they could do something dramatic, burn something, blow something up, or kill somebody. It doesn't matter. But when that happens, like you say, if you stay calm and you just turn your head, you might actually see that the real story is not the fire,
oh absolutely,
but the heist.
absolutely, 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So both of them are true. It's just how we look at things. But yeah, but like you said, if your knee
Oh
jerk
God,
reaction, if your knee jerk reaction is to get upset and anger, and you don't have control of your emotions, they're going to get you.
yeah. It's like, and Ruby, that's why when we talked about the Trump assassination, the very first day or two, and you were freaking out,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept trying to say, "Ruby, just calm down, calm down. It's okay." That's what I'm.
I can't believe I cannot comprehend. I cannot believe it. Like I could see something is happening right in front of me. But how do you comprehend that is that reality? And then you said, oh well, maybe that's not the real Trump, or maybe that's just staged, but in a to make it look like they tried to kill him or whatever. The optics are there's so many different opinions, right? But my thing is, they would really go this far, but like for what? For power? Like I like for what? Like what's the point?
Ruby, they killed JFK.
Mm-hmm.
They kill anybody that gets in their way. Look at Hillary Clinton's body bag list. That's the evil we're dealing with. People need to understand the level of evil that we are definitely fighting right now.
Yeah, Ruby, I don't think you understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's 100 senators, and if the budget is say $4 trillion, 4 trillion,
Mm-hmm.
that means each senator's vote is worth 400 billion. You see, I mean, we're talking power that you and I don't even comprehend. One man's vote is worth $400 billion. I mean, this is power, and that's just US dollars. That's not petrodollars. That's not, European. I mean, this is a power that we don't that blows our mind.
Right. You know what? That also makes me think. Like the other day, I said, in honest, to be honest, even though I understand everything that we've been talking about for the past 4 days and ever since I met Jimmy, I kind of feel like they will never go away. I kind of feel like they will always exist no matter what, in
That's
every era,
understandable.
in every administration, like forever.
That's understandable, and I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm not there. I was in the beginning, until I just did all this mad research and just dove in to figure out what the hell is going on. And once I figured it out, I was like, okay, I'm more calm now, because I believe that there's a lot more going on than what we've been told. And every now and again, you'll get a little calm or something that lets you know, yeah, you're on the right track. Because today, I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but Trump was giving a speech and he was recognizing one of the generals, General Kellogg. And he basically said, I'll sum it up, try to do the best I can on it. He said, General Kellogg, yeah, that's a great guy. He's been with me before day one, and he asked me to run. Now, why is that important for somebody like me? Because I was putting it out there, and I've done videos on it, that the military asked Trump to run. And
Thank you, Jimmy, for saying that, because I used to always ask you in every phone call, I'm like, how do you know these things? And that's a great answer.
And so Trump said that, and I'm like, hell yeah, we've been on the right track the whole dang time. Trump just mentioned it.
Right.
So, and that's why also when I was on Facebook, I told people to learn the comms, listen to these speeches, listen to these phrases that's being said. They've been telling us the whole time. It's just folks haven't been listening.
Okay, that's what I need to do more of. I need to listen to more speeches like that. But let me throw this at you, Jimmy and Gigi. Today, I kind of don't want to be the devil's advocate, but do you think that they are actually protecting us more than the corruption or the bad or the evil that they are doing either in America or worldwide? Because I believe, like you said before, if the veil is down, people won't be able to handle it. Your psyche will go insane. You'll probably have a breakdown. So do you think that they are actually protecting us, even though I know how evil and bad and stuff like that? I don't know.
Oh, I can answer that. I'll let Gigi go first, but I can answer that.
Okay. What's your opinion, Gigi, if you have
Who's
one?
protecting us? The government?
Like the government, the deep state, the news, like how they try to they keep our world okay.
Well, life mimics art. Life mimics art. And remember that show? It was from the guys from London where they're dressed as Nazis and they go, "Are we the baddies?" And they're looking at their uniforms. Are we the baddies? So yes, the answer is yes. I think there's a lot of people in government that really do love their country and love their fellow man, but they also know, oh my God, we're the baddies. We're the baddies. And so a lot of people in the government are tippy-toeing through the system. And what happened in Russia in those times, when it was in reverse, people would throw a wrench in the system. So a lot of the Russian people that hated the government, they would just throw a wrench in the system so the wheel would not turn. So you're seeing that, that internal struggle. Because why is the FBI still arresting pedophiles, still arresting people? So we are in a civil war. There's good people in the government, and they know that they're outnumbered or they don't have the cover. Like if they know that if they speak up, they're going to get shot down. But like in a war, they say, "Ruby, cover me," and you start shooting to give me cover. That's where we're at right now, in my opinion.
All right, y'all know where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to take it much deeper than that. We've been told that there are more good people than there are bad right now in the government. There are people that we think that are the actual bad guys. I'm talking about the government part first, the existing government. The ones that we might view as a bad person could be an operative, could be playing a part. We were told that this has been, even Kennedy said it, this will be an infiltration instead of an invasion. So these deep state players, they've infiltrated our government over the years, but infiltration works both ways. All right. So I do believe that there are some good patriots fighting the fine fight, especially the ones in Congress who have been blocking so many bills. During Trump's presidency, the key was the Senate. and there were
Mhm.
good patriots in the Senate. So that kept things at bay. Now, as far as comforting us and
Mhm.
making us feel, not so crazy, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
yeah, that's definitely been going on. And here's the reason why. Because we've been told, and when I say we've been told, that means the Intel board, 17Q, all right.
Mhm.
We've
Mhm.
been told that if the general public knew
Mhm.
everything that was going on, 98% of the people would need hospitalization because they would not be able to handle it. All right.
Right. Right.
Now, so if you go in and look at what Derek Johnson's been saying about the continuity of government and that we are currently under military control, who's speaking?
No, I'm just checking. I don't
Yeah,
think anybody's speaking.
I was seeing who it was. Oh God.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody.
So the military, I do believe, because of some things that Trump has said too, that
Mhm.
the military is in control of this operation, and it has to
Mhm.
be it has to be done in a way to save as many lives as possible. That's why
Mhm.
it's been going so slow, because they've had to drip information out so people
Mhm.
could digest it, and then
Okay. Right. Right.
they drip out a little bit more. Like today, CNN came out and said Project 2025 has nothing to do with Trump.
They're telling the truth for once. Yeah, I saw
Yes.
that clip.
And
Yeah.
the reason why, and this is what I try to tell my buddy John, I said the reason why, and I put it already out on Facebook like a year or two ago. I said, don't be surprised when the mainstream media turns and starts telling some truth. I said that
Mhm.
already. And here's the reason
Yeah.
why. Because the military is controlling them right now and telling them what to put out to the public. That's what's going on, in my opinion, through my research.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. And remember, when you told me that on the phone, I countered you and I said, "But wouldn't you rather everything be told up front, like when the JFK files came out and they told us the FBI was indeed behind the assassination? Why can't people know the truth on hand,
I can tell,
as
I can answer
Americans?"
that. I can answer
Okay.
that.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm
Mhm.
ready for it all. Drop it all.
Right.
But if I want to make it a little personal, it's like in your case, Ruby, you're not ready to look at those things I posted on Twitter yet.
Okay.
You see what I'm
But
saying?
for the better good of the whole nation, the country, we should know what's going on behind closed doors. Why
And
wouldn't we want to know?
we will. It's coming, and that's why we keep saying things are happening every day. Things are being revealed every day. It's just, are people tuned into it?
Right. Okay.
That's
Because
why.
too many people
That's
are asleep still. That's why they're asleep.
exactly. There's a lot of people that are still asleep. So you can't come out and just drop everything, because people will freaking lose their minds and they will go crazy.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so that's why we do what we do, is because we're trying to, quote, soften the blow for when the flood of information does come out. Because we are in drip,
Mhm.
drip, drip, then
Right.
flood.
Okay. So the flood is does that mean we lock everybody up and prosecute everybody who has been involved in the illegal activity?
I would say we will probably end up finding out about a lot of that during the flood of information. That's why you've seen, I don't know if you've seen the hashtag activate the EBS.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you haven't seen that yet?
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of us digital soldiers out there that are just waiting for the
Mhm.
EBS to go off, because what we've been told is there will be, quote, lockdown, and the military will take over the airwaves, air everything on the EBS, and there will be 8-hour segments for 3 days of analog video explaining so many things that have happened already.
You told me this. Yes, you told me
Yes.
this on a phone call before.
That's
Okay.
why a lot of us digital soldiers are like, oh my God, bring on the EBS. Y'all been saying it for a while. Bring it on. We're ready for it.
But do you think that's a cope? you know how they say like that's just like a coping mechanism that you're hoping for something to happen in response to all that evil, and you know, like since nothing is.
I'll put it this way.
Mhm.
If this is what word did you use?
Cope. You know how they say
Cope.
coping mechanism, but
Okay.
we just say cope, like you're coping.
If this is a coping mechanism that they're doing, it's going to piss off a lot of people. If let's say the EBS never if it doesn't go off or whatever, unless some other thing, unless they decide to do it some other way to get the information out. But it's kind of like if Trump gets back in office and he doesn't do the things he says he's going to do, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people.
But that's what I told you, Jimmy. I told you he was president for 4 years. He ran on, I'm going to lock her up. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you told me, oh, well, that you know of publicly. He probably did this privately or you know, behind the mainstream media didn't really like touch on it. But I'm like, okay, I still don't know. Did he do what he said he was going to do? Hillary's still free. Like he never really did what he said he was going to do. And then he says, oh, I don't want to divide. I don't want to do this. Mike Pence said the same thing. I don't want to divide. Let me just certify the vote. And then here we are 4 years later.
This is why Mr. M is kind of right when he says Trump's playing a role, because Trump is playing a role. There's certain things that he can't say or do because it would violate military law.
Okay.
And since we believe that the military is in control of the situation right now, he has to adhere to military law. So that's why you may not hear some things. And like with us, I put a post up today when Hillary Clinton got pushed in the van. That's when I think she was arrested. It looks like an arrest.
Or maybe she fainted or something. Like she was like.
Yeah, that's what the media. Okay. But then she comes out 2 hours later, all happy and everything. And hey, everybody, how y'all doing today? Yeah.
Oh, do you think she was resisting?
Oh yeah. When you look at that video, when you watch that video closely, and there's YouTube. Yeah, she did not want to get in that van.
Oh my God. Is that the real Hillary? They took her?
That one I do believe, yes. I honestly do 100% believe that was the real Hillary, and you haven't seen the real Hillary since then. I know it sounds crazy, but hey,
I know.
we did it. We did an episode 2 weeks ago calling out Project 2025, and we were proven right, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, they finally said it out loud. They said, yeah, he had nothing to do with that.
That's why I'm saying there's some of us that are ahead of the curve, and we can call things before they happen. Well, does it mean we're right all the time? Not all the time, but the record's been pretty damn good.
Okay, yeah, because that's my thing. Every single time election cycle comes, they say everything you want to hear. You get them into office, but then nobody gets arrested. Nobody gets pardoned. You know how they were saying, oh, pardon Julian Assange, pardon Edward Snowden. He didn't do any of those things. He had the time to do that. He didn't do it.
And one thing that the public does is, they get all interested during the election season. But as soon as the election is over, they go back to living their lives. Mm-hmm. I paid attention to what was happening every day during the Biden administration. Oh, I paid attention to everything that was going on and listening, and I was so focused on it. So that's why, I feel like I'm more in tune with what's going on, and I can help other folks kind of see that, hopefully.
Right. Oh my God, Jimmy, thank you so much for that DM you sent me about the law that they changed. And it was in regards to the 12th Amendment, in regards to the Constitution, basically saying the role of the vice president. Because my question was, she's VP, how can she certify her own vote? Isn't that a conflict of interest? So that's really interesting that they changed the language to make it seem like it's just ceremonial. It's just ministerial duties that she's supposed to just do the count and read out the names, read out the count, and only break the tie if it's like a 50-50 thing. Yeah. But then, okay, go ahead.
I mean, go ahead.
Okay, because my question was, is that because my husband said, oh, well, that's unconstitutional. And I said, where in the Constitution does it say that? So we looked up the section, yada, yada, the clause. And it was very vague, you know, the position of the VP. And then that's why the 12th Amendment exists. And then it kind of clarifies. And that was the 1887 amendment,
Right.
the act of the electoral vote. So they changed that because of what happened J6.
Correct.
And with Pence. So the question is that not unconstitutional to change what the 12th Amendment said, even though it's not really like that explicit in the Constitution? It just kind of violates the 12th Amendment?
I'll answer that with this. Is it unconstitutional for the government to pass any laws about gun restrictions?
It is.
Yeah, they don't care about the Constitution. They will change whatever they need to fit their agenda.
But the gun laws that are already existing, that's just like common sense gun laws.
Well, I get
Are
that,
you-
but still, you know, it says shall not be infringed. Yes, there are some common sense things that need to be done. I get that. We evolve as a nation. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is, even though something may be constitutional, doesn't mean the deep state won't try to do it.
Okay, so they try to do it, and then when you take it to the Supreme Court, they strike it down.
Correct.
So you don't think that's going to happen with what was signed in 2022?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why you don't think so? Because honestly, I'm like, if they do drag it, let's say, if she tries it and they say, oh no, Biden did this in 2022, we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. And they try to drag this out. She defies, you know.
Yeah, I don't think
said.
I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening.
That's a very interesting opinion. I don't know if she would actually go that far. I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, the deep state's trapped. They're trapped. They're trapped in this regard right here. So they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. And you just have to dig a little more on some stuff, and and I can help. I can help send you stuff. You ask me a question, I'll find the information and send you what I've looked at. And I'll do that for anybody. I'd be like, here's the information. I'm going to give it to you. You decide what you think about it.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up some of these comments for you because
oh God. I can see them really clear last night. I can't see them tonight.
Okay, so Empit says, those of us ready for it all and want it all released have been learning a long time, and we know it in our hearts and minds. Yeah.
Correct. 100%.
King of Dots says, I'm going crazy now. Jimmy did it to me.
Oh, I got more. I can give you more.
Jane says, also heard some man in Arizona threaten Trump after his speech there. People are so unbalanced. Oh, I saw that.
I did see that today.
He's already arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Thrifty said, Hillary had MK meltdown and was shoved in the van to be adjusted. So proud of myself. I came up with a conspiracy theory. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a very good possibility, but with the other information that I know, I don't think like I said, I believe Hillary's been gone from this earth for a while now. And rumor has it, I'm just going to put this out there. I don't care anymore. Rumor has it that Trump went and witnessed the execution of Hillary Clinton. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. What was the next person to say?
Just reading some comments. Age of Crocodilia. Yeah. Keep voting for the wealthy uni party and nothing will change. They will not, or will have motivation to okay, some typos, to do, but make it worse and worse. Yeah.
I agree.
Deborah says Hollywood has used doubles, masks, etc. for years, yet many of us have a hard time believing that it happens with politicians. Yeah,
that's true. They do. That's why I post stuff to show people taking masks off and things like that. Go look at the story that I think it was the CIA director or I think it was the CIA director. I can't think of her name right now. But back in the 80s, they were working on making these masks look really good and everything. And she put one on. She went into a meeting with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan had no clue that it was her. And then after they did the talking and everything, she revealed to him what they were working on.
I think I saw that clip. Yep.
Yeah. And he was shocked. That was back in the 80s.
Right. You see, that's why I can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? Even though one side of me wants to deny it and say, "Oh, that's fake," but then the other side of me is like, "Stop doing that! Like, you gotta open your mind."
You see, a lot of people.
You gotta trust your heart, Ruby.
A lot of people think. For those of you that think that's stupid, well, at the same time when that happened, on the Johnny Carson show, he has Margaret Thatcher, contemporary of Ronald Reagan, go and talk to Joan Rivers, who used to host for Johnny Carson.
Right.
He's on vacation. And Joan Rivers was friends with the Queen. She was friends with all the royalty. So she loved Margaret Thatcher.
Right.
So Johnny Carson set up a meeting with her, but guess what? It wasn't Margaret Thatcher.
Right.
And even Joan Rivers thought it was Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
And that was in the 80s.
Yeah. Masks are real, folks. And they are so good you wouldn't even be able to tell. So you might want to not think that it's real, but I'm telling y'all, it's 100%, 1000% real.
Well, if Johnny Carson can do it, I mean, just think about that.
Yeah.
If Johnny Carson could do it in public and put it on TV.
And they showed you. They showed you what they were doing. Hello, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
She got an Academy Award.
Yeah. So when I say that wasn't the real Oprah last night, I totally believe that was not the real Oprah last night.
I don't know. We have to put bets on that. I put money on that one.
Man, let's do it. I have no problem with that. Who's this?
Some white guy.
Some white guy.
He's a senator from Arizona.
Oh God. Oh God.
The space guy.
Oh, my Kelly. Yeah.
He looks creepy.
He's an evil ass.
Look at those ears.
I don't like him.
God.
Yeah, I don't like him. They said there's supposed to be a special guest tonight at the DNC.
It's the last day, right? So I'm assuming they should, but I don't know.
Word has it, and there are rumors. I don't know if they're true or not, but some people saying, "What if it was George Bush?"
George Bush. You mean? Oh, you mean
Junior?
Junior, right?
That would be the counter Kennedy.
That would be hilarious. If George Bush walks out on that stage, then I'm telling you, that's going to solidify everything I've been looking at.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So King of Dots says, so Jimmy says the deep state is now the dumb state. Explain.
The dumb state?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that either. So I wanted to
bring
it up.
Can you clarify that a little bit, please?
Okay, King of the Dots, if you can give a clarification, we would appreciate that.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point now to where I'm just going to tell everybody, if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you what I believe is going on. I'm just going to do it. It's gotten to that point right now.
James says his ears are off.
He was pretty creepy looking.
No, Ruby. See, it's big. This is big because Jesse and I talk about how there's one phrase: old adages are true. This is why if Timmy or the guy from England, or Tommy or whatever his name is, Teddy, old adages are true. Don't ever argue with an old man, because the adage is that crooks. What is that adage that there's no honor amongst thieves?
Correct.
Eventually, the mafia turns in on itself.
Correct.
And you have to understand something. We have 50 states plus territories. We have the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard. You
The
have
Space Force.
Space Force, 6. You have to tell the whole. How is it that you're going to get all 50 governors, states? Thanks, Teddy.
Oh, you called him up.
I did that on purpose because I'm very strong in the force, and I knew you were going to come in. But here's the point. This is why this is so important, Ruby, because
I heard that.
all of these 50 states and all of these different military branches. You're not going to have 100% that are going to be on board with the deep state.
Correct.
And so this is where there's no honor amongst thieves. This is why they're scared. Because if they do not have this plan executed to perfection, they're going to start ratting each other out. One's going to rat the other, and this is why they're afraid. And this is why Donald Trump's not afraid. This is why we're not afraid. We have no reason to be afraid.
That's already been happening too, Gigi.
Yeah.
They're already singing like birds.
With Ken Paxton and Texas, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people singing right now.
Yeah. I summoned you, Teddy. I summoned you.
Hi, Teddy. Thanks for joining. How you doing?
Hi. No, I'm not bad. I just went on the stream and all I heard as soon as I went on, it was like, Teddy Tommy, never argue with an old man. Bro, I feel like it's Groundhog Day with you guys.
Yeah, it does feel like Groundhog Day. Did King of Dots clarify that question?
Anyway, how you guys doing?
He did not. Sorry. So I don't know what he was referring to there, but he did say that there are 5 Republicans that are at that convention encouraging the Dems. So that's the Uniparty, right?
Correct.
Right. Those are rhinos. I don't consider them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Correct.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt, boys. But Ruby, Gigi, Jimmy, how we doing? Are we okay?
We're doing good, brother.
Thanks for coming.
Very nice. I don't know if you were streaming last night, but I've been quite busy. We're moving into a new house, so.
Oh, awesome.
Well, yeah. No,
Yeah.
What did I miss out on the DNC last night?
More propaganda, more gaslighting, more emotional tug at the heart.
Oprah was last night.
Could you guys fill me in? Because last time I heard it was last time I saw it was Obama. I read a little bit about it, but I've been very busy, so you guys might have to enlighten me a little bit. Jimmy, I think you should. I think Jimmy, Ruby, hit me.
All right, let me try to remember. Hold on, give me a second.
Oprah came on.
Mm-hmm.
Talked her crap. Basically, it was all.
Oprah came on.
Yeah, Oprah came on last night.
All right.
John Legend. Performed.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean about him. This is what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, Tim Walz spoke. Hakeem Jeffries spoke. Who else spoke last night? I wrote them down.
You did.
Oh,
it seems like everyone speaks but Kamala. It seems
well,
like.
she's supposed to speak tonight.
She's watching from her hotel room, Teddy.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that Dershowitz?
Oh, here we go.
Leon Panetta.
Alan, go on.
Yeah, no, that's John.
No.
Play this, Ruby. Play this one.
Okay.
The White House, Chief of Staff, CIA Director, and Secretary of Defense.
This man's a snake in the grass.
Why do they all look like they're crying every
I
time?
looked into the eyes of our warriors and deployed them into battle. I gave the order directing our special operations forces to fly 2 helicopters 150 miles into Abbottabad at night. And by the time the sun rose, Osama bin Laden was dead.
Oh, we're going to go live off that. We're going to praise for that. Okay.
Because nobody attacks our country and gets away with it. Nobody. That's what our warriors do. That's what our warriors do. Our warriors need a tough, cool-headed commander-in-chief to defend our democracy from tyrants and terrorists. We need Kamala Harris behind the resolute desk. She knows a tyrant when she sees one. And our allies know a leader when they see
Just
one.
to say, guys, it was
On
a
the
Democrat
Senate
government
Intelligence Committee and as vice
that
president,
funded the
she
Mujahideen,
worked with
that
more
started
than
the entire
150
thing
world
in
leaders.
Afghanistan.
Yes.
It was George
She's
W.
looked our
Bush
allies
and Jimmy
in the
Carter.
eye
But George W.
said,
Bush
"America
is the person who went and
has your
stopped
back."
it. So he's the one who put the troops on the
Trump would
ground.
Yeah.
abandon
Yeah.
our
And Trump took him
allies
back out.
and isolate America.
Obama's the one who
We
took years
tried
and
that
years to finish the
in the
mission.
1930s.
Yep.
It was foolish and dangerous then, and it's foolish and dangerous now. Listen to President Reagan. President Reagan. Isolationism never was and never will be an acceptable response to tyrannical governments. Never.
Hey, girl.
Oh my God. Okay.
Putin, they can do whatever the hell they want. Kamala Harris tells tyrants, the hell you can, not on my watch.
When has she ever done that?
She's worked with President Zelensky to fight back against Russia. She knows that protecting their democracy protects our democracy as well. Look, Donald Trump does not understand the world, and he does not understand the service and sacrifice of our military. Our fallen veterans are not suckers. They are not losers. They are our heroes.
Wow.
Kamala Harris will honor our veterans. And in Tim Walz, we will have a vice president who has served in uniform honorably for 24 years. Kamala Harris understands this moment. It is a moment of danger and a moment of opportunity. She'll keep America's military the strongest in the world, the strongest ever known. And she understands what our military is for. The role of our military is to defend us from foreign enemies. It is not to threaten Americans, and it sure as hell isn't to put immigrants in camps.
the Taliban. Good point. Great point.
Every president since World War II, Republican and Democrat, has shared the belief that America must protect democracy in the world.
Oh my God.
That's supplying the
president
Afghanistan
has
Taliban
honored
with millions
our
and millions of
veterans
pounds in the last year.
and their sacrifices.
Yep.
Every president, but one.
Great.
But one.
Great job.
So we face a critical choice: to vote for someone who stands with our military and stands up for democracy, or someone who will disrespect our heroes and undermine our democracy. My fellow Americans,
That's foul.
there is only one choice.
Oh my God.
One
It's
choice.
the same old story, though, isn't it?
It is. It is.
And let me tell you something. When she takes her oath of office, as she will this January, Our allies will cheer. Our enemies will fear. And we will have a commander-in-chief that we can trust. God bless our veterans, and God bless our country.
Oh my God. Yeah, so wow.
Yeah, that's kind of sick, right? Because Trump didn't start no wars. How many Marines died under Biden when they
Yeah, that was a bunch of bull crap.
Hey, Ruby, Leon Panetta comes from Southern California. He's been in Washington D.C. forever, but
Who's this dude?
he's like a Lindsey Graham.
Who's, who's this dude?
Oh yeah, from Arizona, Ruben Gallego.
Oh yeah, I ain't worried about him.
So, Rush Limbaugh would say, or the people will say, he's never met a war that he didn't like. Lindsey Graham. That's Panetta, that guy Leon Panetta.
Yeah.
Every major war, he's always in it. He promotes every war. I mean, this guy is a warmonger. I mean, this guy is like the guy that took over after Henry Kissinger's death. He's bad. But one thing that he used was, we don't believe in isolationism. And that's the direct attack on the greatest president the American public never had, which was Ron Paul, because the Republicans stole it from him, like the Democrats stole it from with Kamala Harris.
Yep.
And this is what you need to know about Ron Paul, that like the great majority of the soldiers.
Ron Paul.
The great majority of the soldiers that were going to go to war loved Ron Paul, but the people in the CIA, the people that worked in DC, hated him.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
And Leon Panetta is the kind of he's the kind of guy that says, no, we need to have bases in all over the world. And this is the thing I will give credit to the young people. The young people love Ron Paul because they're like, what the hell are we doing in Zimbabwe?
He's ugly.
Yeah. So that's when he's talking about isolationism. He wants to be everywhere. And Ron Paul is saying no. And he has Donald Trump's ear. Trust me, Ron Paul is respected in the community.
Yeah, I liked Ron Paul.
He's retired, right? Because I'm looking him up now.
Yeah.
You can see him on YouTube every day, but yeah.
Okay.
Gigi, can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So, how much do you think that like Trump's removal and him taking all of the troops out from all over the world, really, and all of his policies, how much do you think that is American isolationism?
It's not really isolationism. You don't have to have a military base in somebody else's country. Like, we don't need to have a military base right across in France, right next to you, and be isolated. So Trump is just saying, hey, why can't we use some of those men and like Eisenhower and put them to work? Eisenhower and Patton, they didn't go to Europe to fight when they were young. They stayed on the Mexican border. They stayed on the Canadian border. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to have bases all over the world and be isolationist.
But I think it was Eisenhower who actually put forth that America should have bases all over the world. I believe he was not an he. I didn't say he was. I didn't say he was. No, I know. But I know you have a big affinity with Eisenhower.
No, I was just saying how he served in the military on the Mexican border, and that's what Donald Trump is saying is, hey, why don't we have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 troops instead of having them overseas? Have them here in the United States. We can put it to work. And that doesn't mean you're an isolationist.
But I think that America has a lot of reserve troops already that are sitting doing quite little and spend a lot of money on defense.
Go ahead.
And I think that go on, Jimmy.
I want to ask a question. Which organization benefits the most with the United States having military bases around the world?
NATO.
Okay, that's one. I'm going somewhere else with it.
Maybe the UN?
Yeah, kind of. They play a factor in it, but that's not the main answer I'm looking for.
Military complex?
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. Thank you. The military industrial complex benefits the most. And we know how evil they are, right?
It's consistent.
So when Trump was pulling troops out of countries, he was effing over the military-industrial complex.
They did not like that. But but I think that Trump as well. I think he increased military spending. Did he not?
Oh well, yeah, he had to rebuild the military because Obama and them were wiping our military out. He had to rebuild the military.
He increased defense spending, but also I think
he did it.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I think he did it for Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force was a big deal. I put up a thing today, and God, I can't remember the exact when it took off, but there was a plane or something that was launched. I can't Ruby, can you pull up my profile on Twitter?
Yes, I can.
Jimmy, could I give you a follow on Twitter? I don't. I've only just made an account the other day.
Let's see. There was. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going.
Jimmy.
Yo, bro. Hang on just a second. I'm trying to look at the screen. There should be something on there about the Space Force. There, right there. Read the thing on the right.
Of the meme, this?
Yeah, the little white box.
What was the U.S. military secret space plane doing on its record-breaking mission? The unscrewed X-37B space plane touched down at NASA's Kennedy Space Station on November 12th, having spent a record 908 days in orbit. 9 + 0 + 8 = 17.
And it's just something like, what kind of information did they get? It's just something on there, I think.
The tweet says, this is a reminder that on May 17, 2020, the United States Space Force launched the unscrewed X-37B space plane, and which did not return until 908 days later on November 12, 2022. The mission of the secret space plane, which was in orbit during both the 2020 election and the 2022 midterm elections, has never been disclosed. President Trump started Space Force. What data do you think was collected?
Exactly. Space Force is a bigger deal than people even realize. Trump we had to spend money to build that up. And that's a constitutional thing too. That's what a president's supposed to do. Build your military up to protect the nation. All right,
so with Space Force, who are the main contenders against them? China and Russia.
Space Force is not what a lot of people think in the sense of, we're going to be fighting, Star Trek and Star Wars style.
Yeah, it's not.
It's cyberspace. It's cyberspace. So you gotta pay attention to hackers, not only from Russia and China, but Middle Eastern countries in Europe. Those are the ones that they're monitoring.
I think that's a good point, Jimmy, because and Russia has threatened EMP attacks on the United States before, and they definitely have the capability to just drop an EMP and basically spark out all of your electronics that you have. They could. I'm sure that they could do it localized, but I don't think I don't think they have the capability to do it nationwide. But I think that's definitely a threat, and that's something that Trump.
Yeah.
If you did invest spending into that, that is. So
think about pulling the troops out of other countries. How much money does that save? You could actually take that money that you saved from your military being all over the world and build something with that money to protect the United States.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Tad.
Hi again. Regarding Jimmy's previous statement, I think Jimmy will probably dislike me after this statement. But I love him and respect him. So I believe we can continue our friendship.
Absolutely.
This is my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Tad, I love you. I love you, Tad.
I think I don't believe in EBS and Nisara, Gesara, Jesara, or that Trump is the president of the Republic of America. However, I of course agree that Biden got into his position fraudulently, fraudulently. Oh, not good. My uh, enunciation. Sorry.
You're fine.
There are too many composite photos and many things that are not actually happening are being sent out as facts. I think that everything is an action toward world unification, and only a few elites will gain wealth and make us poor, and they will only give us the minimum amount of money. Since I have made these statements, if they are true, I will apologize to everyone and write a greeting in the comments. Maybe I will retire. Bye.
Uh, okay. Yeah. If I understood him correctly, he was saying that he doesn't believe in the EBS and Nasara Jasara. That was correct. Is that what y'all got?
I think so, but I don't know what that is. What is EB? The
Well,
acronym that he mentioned.
that would be the emergency broadcast system that I talked about earlier.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And Nasara Jasara, yeah, there's a lot of folks that don't believe in that right now, and that's fine. I hope it does come true. And he did say that, this is, if I understood him correctly, he said this is all the New World Order pushing, push everything being pushed to establish the New World Order, and they will give us as little money as possible. And that's kind of what I got from that. I hope I'm correct, Tad. And if I am correct in that, then I'll just say, yeah, that's what they're pushing for, but we're fighting to stop it.
Hey, when you guys talked about like Russia, Ruby, this is what I'm just going to give you one example, but Russia is not our enemy, and Donald Trump knows it.
Correct.
And Vladimir Putin knows it. But Vladimir Putin is not stupid, and he knows that the Democrat Party and the rhinos, the Republican rhinos, they're globalists. And what do they want? Why are they picking on Russia? Because of their natural resources. So listen, if let me just give you an example. If you go get a silver coin right now, it's $35. But if you would have bought that same silver coin during Ronald Reagan's era, it cost over $50. So you tell me something that was more expensive in Ronald Reagan's day than it is today. Nothing, only silver. You know why? Because the United States government with Chase Bank manipulate the price of silver, and they use it in bombs. But here's the point. They manipulate in the billions but raw material. Now check this out. In your car, there's a thing called palladium. And there's only 5 countries that really produce palladium for cars and everything. Do you know who the number 1 producer for palladium is?
No.
Russia. So when Wall Street try to do the silver squeeze and try to say we're going to fix the prices, Russia said, okay, you can play with paper all you want. Whenever you guys really want to give us real money for palladium, then we'll ship it to you. So the point is that Russia called their bluff. So now the governments pay the real price for palladium, and that's why your catalytic converters are expensive. Because Vladimir Putin says, no, I'm not going to have all these drilling take place and do it for free so Wall Street can make money. Yep. That's just palladium. Yeah. That's not counting platinum, copper, aluminum, zinc, and every other precious metal.
Yep.
Ruby, Vladimir Putin is the enemy because they want his land. Donald Trump doesn't want his land, but the United Nations wants his land. Klaus Schwab wants his land. And palladium and silver, when you understand those two things, then you understand, like Paul Harvey says, the rest.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's crybaby Kinzinger. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So now do you know why your catalytic converter is so expensive?
Yeah, that
Because
makes
Vladimir
sense. Yeah.
Putin is telling you, go to hell, kiss my butt. I want.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Russia. I don't think so. But like my husband keeps telling me, we're gonna go to war with China. We're gonna go to war with China. China is our enemy, and he keeps. I have to listen to his lectures, and he puts like a 2-hour lecture, and I have to listen to this crap. Yeah. So
Hey,
God,
just real quick, I had a thought hit my head. You know what this
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of? What the four of us are doing here? It's kind of
What?
like our own little nightly show, like on the 5 on Fox or something. It's like our own little round table.
Yeah, for like
Who's
4 days
Who's
straight.
Tucker here? Who's the Tucker here though? That's the question.
It's like the nightly news.
I'll be the Piers Morgan of the group, buddy. I'll take the
You do
the
that.
worst
Oh my
one.
God.
I'll be the
I'll be the
hardcore.
worst one. I'll be the worst one. I'll be the worst one. That's fine. I'm already treated controversially. As soon as I joined the stream, I was talked about. So
Yeah,
negatively
I'll
anyway.
be Tucker. Can I be Tucker?
Yeah, Jimmy, I was gonna say it, Tucker. Yeah, you're good. No. Tucker's the best one though. Come on, like we love Tucker.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. I love it.
We love Tucker.
I don't know too much about Tucker. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
he's a plant.
there's question marks. There's question
Yeah.
marks. I'll just say that.
Just like
But-
Alex Jones, I don't trust.
Let's just put it this way. I trust Tucker more than I do Alex.
I think most people could agree with that. He's probably not spouted as much bullshit as Alex Jones has in his life.
So
space alien lizard vampires control the world and they're all Jews. You know what I mean? Like that's his point.
you didn't know that's true, Teddy.
Yeah, no, sorry, I forgot, Jimmy. I did forget that was true.
I'm kidding.
I'm very sorry. Ruby, I was going to. Could I just reply to your point earlier? With you said you're talking to your husband says that China and we're going to go to war with China. We'll never go to war with China because China is a manufacturing economy, and where do they sell all of their manufacturing goods to? They sell it to the West. They sell it to us. Without us, they're not going to sell it to the Russians because unless they made a ridiculously good trade deal and they completely reshifted their economy, which BRICS is trying to do. They're trying to implement some kind of opposition to the West. And in October, I think we will find out more about their back deals that they're doing.
Yeah.
But China can't lose America. And they can't go against them. That's why they're not invading Taiwan with force. That's why they're not backing Russia with arms, and that's why they're not fighting a proxy war against America right now, because as much as they threaten and they do play they sit on the fence between Russia and China, they're playing a very smart game because China's GDP has gone up the most in maybe China's GDP is the fastest growing economy in the world, and their GDP is the fastest growing as well. They are overall doing the best out of really anyone because they're sitting on the fence, they're playing both sides, they're gaining money from China and Russia, America and Russia, and they don't want to spoil the relationship that they have with America as much as they threaten them with these things. However, Trump, in fact, did get the most money out of China that they deserve because they supply everything, and it's become to the point where America's reliant on China, China's reliant on America. They can't get out of that situation. That's all I have to say.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
I agree with Teddy that we're not going to go to war with China. I agree with that. What folks have to remember, now I do believe that China may go into Taiwan. We'll see. I've been talking about that for 2 years. We'll see if that happens or not. But kind of like Russia went into Ukraine because Ukraine is ancestral lands to Russia, as is Taiwan is ancestral lands to China. That's a whole nother subject. But anyway, what folks have to remember is just like we have the uniparty here in America, over in China is the CCP. So you have two separate factions in China as well. Xi Jinping is actually working to help destroy the CCP. kind of like Donald Trump is kind of working to destroy the Uniparty.
So Jimmy, explain how he's just trying to destroy the CCP. Because are you saying that in the sense that that he's trying to take absolute rule over China, which he already has, but or are you saying that he's trying to translate the party into a different thing? What political narrative would he be translating the CCP into?
Basically, he would be doing the same, and he's been doing it, because if you look at some of the news that's come out of China with people that have been arrested, people that have been taken out already in China, that's public knowledge. You can look it up.
Oh yeah, same as Putin. He murders anyone he wants.
Yeah, he is. Xi Jinping is working just like Trump to remove the CCP out of China, because CCP is part of the deep state. So technically, and I know, and I've said this before, like 4 years ago, and I know it's going to like surprise some people, but right now, the good guys that are working together to get rid of the deep state worldwide are Trump, Putin, Xi Jinping, Modi from India, and Kim Jong-un from North Korea.
So would you like, so in that case, Jimmy, would you like to see America make a full alliance into BRICS? Would you like to see that? Because you said that you're anti-globalist, anti-World Economic Forum, but would that not just be another form of globalism and World Economic Forum if we joined the world stage alliance with the big superpowers?
From what I'm understanding with the BRICS, with it being a lot of the financial stuff, it seems to me like the BRICS nations are wanting to back their currencies with real money.
Yeah,
that's what I understand.
I think that they're supposedly creating a new currency.
No, you guys don't understand BRICS. Let me help you understand BRICS. It's real simple, Jimmy. So when Russia needs to buy oil, or sell oil to China, they have to buy United States dollars. The Chinese need to buy US dollars and give it to Russia, and it has to go through the United States, and they broker it. It's a broker deal.
Right.
Okay. So if Russia has their money taken away and frozen, like what's his name did, Biden, how are they going to trade? This is the thing about BRICS. So basically, just think of BRICS in the most simple term, like a Visa card. So you're in Russia and you want to buy in China or South Africa or India.
Right.
You need to have a clearinghouse, and Visa is going to get a piece of that transaction to move money from, or the bank's going to move from one to the other. BRICS is perfect and it's great because it's an alternative. It's kind of like MasterCard. But imagine if we just had Visa and no ATM debits. It was all just one. And so this is what Vladimir Putin was genius in getting this thing going, because you don't have to run through the United States to buy dollars and sell dollars. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll never use dollars, because there's only so much vodka that China can buy from Russia,
right,
or vice versa. There's only so much. So but let's just say they have $100. $70 is spent between these nations, but they have $30 left over. What are they going to do? Well, they'll buy US dollars, right? But 70 of it will be in their BRICS system, so they'll be able to have transactions at a significantly lower cost. And when you're talking about 1% of billions of dollars, do the math.
And doesn't it allow the countries to do, and this is what I understand, because Saudi Arabia ditched the dollar. And so it looks to me like these countries will be able to make these transactions within their own money, not using the US dollar, which would hurt the Fed.
And faster. And you don't need permission.
Correct.
And like I said, Russia and China are trade, but there's going to only be a 70 cents on the dollar, or 70 cents. I mean, $70. Right. They're still going to want US dollars, but the amount of money that they save by being able to just choose which card they want to use. Do I want to use a Visa, a MasterCard?
Right.
I want to pay cash. And so the BRICS system is an alternative to the US system.
I get, yeah.
Gigi. But also, of course, I think you're exactly right. That's very true. That is exactly the objective of BRICS. But
Yeah.
also, with the dependency that they have on America as well, how much do you think that sanctions will affect them overall?
Well, it's already affected Russia.
If they do implement that, because Russia
Well,
are
they already
on,
did with Russia.
they're gonna Russia. I can't lie. Russia hasn't got much time left in Ukraine. With
Well, they did it
it
with
seems
Russia. They
they're
froze
coming.
them.
They're coming close to a deal at this point. I think.
No, but no,
They have
I'm answering-
They have 1,000
I'm
square.
answering your
1,000.
question.
They have over. Sorry, can I just? Because I just finished my point as well.
The United
So
States put a sanction on Russia, so Russia they froze their bank
and their
account.
economy. But they have a war economy. They have a war economy though, so they're you know that a war economy does the best. It's the best.
But
the best
Teddy,
form of
if
an
you're
economy.
if you're
Mass mobilization helps an economy.
But Teddy,
that's why they haven't collapsed yet.
If you're in Saudi Arabia, Teddy, and you saw that they just stole $300 billion in just one account with Russia, and you're a Saudi prince, you don't think that they could do the same to you? This is why.
But also Saudi Arabia sit on the fence as well with between the West and Russia because the West and East because they have to. They're in a position where they have to sit on the fence because they supply oil to both. But they're making so much money off America because of our and the West because of our we've stopped relying on. We've tried to reduce our dependency on Russian gas and oil. Okay. That's the reason why. Obviously, one reason why the Nord Stream pipeline was destroyed. It's things like that that it's saying to Russia and China. If you try and make these little connections between the two of you, look, we're going to sanction you, and you can have your deals between each other, but it's not going to work because it's threatening all over. What would you want to end this crisis that we have in the world now? I mean, it would be what would be the ideal solution for you? It's so complicated. There's so many factors involved.
The ideal solution,
there's so much dependency on different places. It's so complex.
The ideal solution is real simple. It's called freedom. And the Chinese and the Russians on this particular subject, not the Americans, are choosing freedom. The Russians are choosing Bitcoin. The Russians are choosing BRICS.
Do you not think that they're resorting? Do you not think they're resorting to that because they have no other option? They can't. No, they're having to. They're threatening to trade palladium in rubles. They don't do it because they make so much money off the dollar.
The United States has a monopoly. The United States has a monopoly.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. Who's coming in?
Another white guy.
Another white guy and the most diverse party out there.
Yeah.
We've had the first night was their diverse night.
Oh God, that's my governor.
Yeah.
You want to listen to him?
I do not want to listen to him.
Okay.
See, so what Teddy doesn't understand is that the monopoly, the United States are the bad ones. They have a monopoly. If China wants to do business with Mexico and trade parts for avocados, that's their business.
Correct.
And America is saying, no, you need to buy US dollars at a 0.12% in rate. And then when you sell the dollars, you have to pay.
And this is exactly why Gaddafi got killed.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but Gaddafi was trying to unite Africa into a united currency. Of course, American imperialism has been around for forever, and it's still here. It's become very obvious and very clear recently, for sure.
And that's why Trump was pulling people out to stop that.
But in an ideal world, what would you want from Trump?
What we just described, what Trump wants.
So
Trump wants Bitcoin.
He wants freedom, and he believes in Bitcoin. But it's only this. I think it was only this year that Trump. I believe that Trump before this year was shitting on Bitcoin. I think that he had really he had really offensive remarks on Bitcoin, and now he's seeing the value in it with money. He's a businessman, and he's seeing that it's skyrocketed. It's so expensive, and it's remained its value. But that's the only reason why he's actually invested in it, because he sees the value in it. But if Russia trades in Bitcoin, it's what they're going to gain. What they're going to gain from it overall. I mean,
Teddy, you're missing the point because you're British. Freedom always works. No, I'm serious.
it's either I'm young or I'm
Hang
British.
on a
It's either
second.
I'm young or I'm
This is
British.
the part of
Every
the
time,
show when we have two people
Always
that
goes-
go at each other.
No, this is the point.
I want to hear what
freedom
Ruby. I want to
always
hear what
wins.
Ruby wants. I want to hear what
Teddy,
Ruby wants.
Freedom always wins, and Donald Trump knows it. Donald Trump is not for Bitcoin. He's for the US dollar. He's for BRICS. He's for Bitcoin. He's for pesos. He's for everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Gigi,
the point.
Gigi, can I ask you a question? Do you think that Ukraine is like a legitimate country? Do you think that they deserve the right to be a nation?
No, I'll let Jimmy answer that one, but he knows more about Ukraine than I do.
Okay. Well, no, I'm asking you. Really, it's not. It's Jimmy. Jimmy can. I'll let Jimmy. Answer fully because I know his doctrine on Ukraine, and I know he's biting to talk about it right now. I can see it. Bless him. He's desperate to talk about it. But Gigi, I've asked like what your ideal solution for it is, and all you say is freedom, and then criticize me. What would you want? So Trump wants freedom. What does freedom mean? What does that mean to you? What does freedom mean? Oh, he wants freedom. Does that mean a unilateral agreement with Russia, China, Iran, all those countries that are aligned together against the West? I understand that the West has a monopoly on the world. America polices the world. Would you like America to remove all of their military bases, take out all of their influence all over the world, and what would you want? Us to all work together? That wouldn't happen because America, China, and Russia would just take over. They would put their bases in those countries, and America would sit back and do nothing. What would you want from that situation? I don't understand. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, the answer is real simple. This is what you learn when you study money. Money always goes.
My job. I work in a bank. I mean,
Okay,
you know what I mean.
You should know this. Money always goes where it's treated best. So the reason people take their money away from a bank or they take it away from a country is because the country is not taking care of the people. So it's real simple. Donald Trump.
You live in the West. You live in the West, though, don't you? You live in the West.
So Donald Trump knows.
So would you want the dollar to be devalued by removing all the things that you have?
Donald Trump knows that Americans will always treat the world better than anybody else, and we will always win, and everybody will always want to give us their money. Because Americans have a history of treating people best. We don't have to do a law. We don't have a treaty. Donald Trump knows that we just do it. If you build it, they will come. If you treat people, you know why people put their money in the United States? For one reason and one reason only.
But do you think that Putin treats people goodly? Do you think that Putin treats people nicely? And Trump is obviously in cahoots with Putin, and you'd love to. He always says he's a great guy, great guy. He's the best guy, and he knows him very well. Like, yes, that's what he always says. That's what he always says, right?
And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you.
Putin murders his journalists. There's no media in Russia. Would you like a world where Trump is the leader and all the Democrats are murdered?
No, listen. I'm going to answer this question.
Speaking out against things he does wrong. Trump does things wrong.
Don't ask a question and not expect the answer. Zelensky owns property in Florida where Ruby's at. You know why? Because everybody across the world goes to the United States to park their money for one reason and one reason only. Kevin O'Leary tells everybody it's because of our legal system where you have a right to defend your money through property or through banks. We have a thing called the rule of law. So Donald Trump knows that if we have a good judiciary, we have rule of law, everybody and their mother is going to come to the United States. It really is.
So I fact checked you. There's no credible evidence to suggest that Zelensky has any property in the UK, in the United States.
Actually, he does. He does.
Yeah, he does.
He has property in Florida.
And I've heard about it, and I kind of flipped out that night when I found that out. I said, "How does he own anything over there?"
Can I ask where you got that from? who told you?
Well, like I
He's
told you
still-
before, I get my
yeah.
your from my husband, so he has been
Is your
educating me
husband?
and
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Teddy, I'll
that's
find it.
fair enough.
I'll find it and share it with on my Twitter page.
Yeah, and
Yes,
not only
yeah.
that, not only the property, but that he can also possibly get dual citizenship, I believe, or residency or something of that nature, so that if they do lose in Ukraine, he will be coming to the United States.
Correct. The
And
deep
I
state,
disagree completely with that.
the deep state has to protect their own.
So Jimmy, to you, I'd like you to go on to your thesis on Ukraine then. So like you think that Ukraine and Ukraine and the Democrats, who obviously it's true that they're pouring money into the war, and they're starting to win against Russia. They've got a foothold in Russia. It's the first time that there's been mobilized troops in Russia since World War II. That's a fact. And they are spending. They're sending F-16s. Sweden, Finland joined NATO, things like that. It's aligning. I agree that there is definitely a global force against them. But what would you? How do you suggest that Zelensky is like a global criminal? I suppose as you're framing him, you know, because he has property in America, and he has dual citizenship. Like, if Ukraine got taken, he's the leader of their country. America has always protected the people, their interests, and the countries that they are protecting. America and the government are protecting Ukraine. Ukraine was invaded by Russia. So let's say the United Kingdom was invaded by a foreign nation. Do you not think that they would allow the prime minister to have, let's say, Winston Churchill? I'm sure that he probably has property in America. I'm sure that he probably has. I'm sure that he would be allowed dual citizenship if he was in a situation where it was dire for the country. I think that that's not unreasonable. Do you?
Okay, so where do I start on this? Okay.
Kamala's on the stage.
We got who? What? Who's on the stage?
Did she just come out?
Oh,
Let's
she's
see.
here.
Who is it?
Kamala.
Kamala.
Oh yeah, well we got to tune in, guys.
Okay, yep. And then Jimmy can answer that later. So they were leaving her for last. You see this the whole night.
Are they
Leaving her
are
for
they
last.
going to be ending early tonight?
I think
I
she's
get-
gonna be from now to midnight. So
Yeah.
she's gonna have like an hour and a half.
Oh my God, I can't take her for an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
If you want to like stop, let me know. So we'll gauge what she's talking about and then just let me
Oh
know.
my God, her talk for an hour and a half.
I don't know because they end at midnight every other night. So
Well, let's see what happens.
She's
I
gonna
bet-
embed
Let me go
this
get my
from
stuff to
USB.
charge my phone. This will be
Laughing
interesting.
Kamala. Laughing Kamala.
Still a drink?
Good evening, everyone.
Oh.
Good evening. Good
Oh dear.
evening.
I'm already annoyed.
Oh my goodness. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you.
Say something.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're always either laughing or crying though, these lot, I tell you. It's like they've got people with signs saying laugh, cry.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Ruby, do you have it turned up all the way?
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, I put it back up.
Okay.
Thank you all. Okay. to get to some business. Okay.
Bloody hell.
Thank you all. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, thank you, please, thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's get to business. Let's get to business. All right. So let me start
Steph,
by
great pun.
thanking my most incredible husband, Doug, for being an incredible partner to me, an incredible father to Cole and Ella, and happy anniversary, Dougie.
Verge of tears. Kamala comes
I
on
love
stage,
you
verge
so
of tears.
very much. To our president, Joe
It's a
Biden.
joke.
When I think about the path that we have traveled together, Joe, I am filled with gratitude. Your record is
Because you're the
extraordinary, as
candidate.
history will show, and your character is inspiring. And Doug and I love you and Jill and are forever thankful to you both. And to Coach Tim Walz, you are going
Oh my
to
God,
be
stop
an incredible
crying.
vice president.
Crying. Literally.
And to the delegates and everyone who has put your faith in our campaign, your support is humbling. So, America, the path that led me here in recent weeks was, but I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys. So, my mother, our mother, Shamala Harris, had one of her own, and I miss her every day, and especially right now. And I know she's looking down smiling. I know that. So my mother was 19 when she crossed the world alone, traveling from India to California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist who would cure breast cancer. When she finished school, she was supposed to return home to a traditional arranged marriage. But as fate would have it, she met my father, Donald Harris, a student from Jamaica. They fell in love and got married, and that act of self-determination made my sister Maya and me. Growing up, we moved a lot. I will always remember that big Mayflower truck packed with all our belongings, ready to go to Illinois, to Wisconsin, and wherever our parents' jobs took us. My early memories of our parents together are very joyful ones. A home filled with laughter and music, Aretha, Coltrane, and Miles. At the park, my mother would say, "Stay close." But my father would say, as he smiled, "Run, Kamala, run. Don't be afraid. Don't let anything stop you."
He didn't say that.
From my earliest years, he taught me to be fearless. But the harmony between my parents did
One
not
policy,
last.
please. Just
When
one.
I was
Just
in
one.
elementary school, they
Yes.
split up. And it was mostly my mother who raised us. Before she could finally afford to buy a home, she rented a small apartment in the East Bay. In the Bay, you either live in the hills or the flatlands. We lived in the flats. A beautiful working class neighborhood of firefighters, nurses, and construction workers, all who tended their lawns with pride. My mother, she worked
since starting the Farmer's Dog.
That was my
to
favorite
help
part.
raise us. Mrs. Shelton, who ran the daycare below us and became a second mother, Uncle Sherman, Aunt Mary, Uncle Freddie, Auntie Chris, none of them family by blood, and all of them family by love. Family who taught us how to make gumbo, how to play chess, and sometimes even let us win. Family who loved us, believed in us, and told us we could be anything and do anything. They instilled in us the values
She's not winning.
they personified: community, faith, and the importance of treating others as you would want to be treated, with kindness, respect, and compassion. My mother was a brilliant, 5-foot-tall brown woman with an accent. And as the eldest child, I saw how the world would sometimes treat her. But my mother never lost her cool. She was tough, courageous, a trailblazer in the fight for women's health, and she taught Maya and me a lesson that Michelle mentioned the other night. She taught us to never complain about injustice, but do something about it. Do something about it. That was my mother. And she taught us, and she also taught us, and never do anything half-assed. And that is a direct quote.
Someone else should ask Willie Brown how she did.
I grew up immersed in the ideals of the civil rights movement. My parents had met at a civil rights gathering, and they made sure that we learned about civil rights leaders, including the lawyers like Thurgood Marshall and Constance Baker Motley, those who battled in the courtroom to make real the promise of America. So at a young age, I decided I wanted to do that work. I wanted to be a lawyer. And when it came time to choose the type of law I would pursue, I reflected on a pivotal moment in my life. You see, when I was in high school, I started to notice something about my best friend, Wanda. She was sad at school, and there were times she didn't want to go home. So one day I asked if everything was all right, and she confided in me that she was being sexually abused by her stepfather. And I immediately told her she had to come stay with us, and she did. This is one of the reasons I became a prosecutor, to protect people like Wanda, because I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice. As a prosecutor, when I had a case, I charged it not in the name of the victim, but in the name of the people. For a simple reason. In our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. And I would often explain this to console survivors of crime, to remind them, no one should be made to fight alone. We are all in this together. And every day in the courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge and I said 5 words. Kamala Harris.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, your clients for
on behalf
thousands of
of the
marijuana
people,
smokers you locked up for fucking years
on
and years.
behalf
Yep.
of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of my mother and everyone who has ever set out on their own unlikely journey,
I accept your
on
nomination.
behalf of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard, chase their dreams, and look out for one another, on behalf of everyone
I accept
whose
your
story
nomination.
could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Oh, God help us all.
Yep.
3 days of non-stop waffle just to end it with waffle, really?
Teddy, I'm with you. I'm waiting for her to mention just one policy, just one policy point.
Oh, we're gonna do this. What are you gonna do? She's not gonna do anything.
And with this election, our nation with this election has a precious, fleeting opportunity to move past the
She says
bitterness,
democracy and shit.
cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward.
Y'all do know that there's rumors that that's a man, actually, right?
Member of any one party or faction, but
Nah.
as Americans.
Kamala's a woman, let's
And
be
let me
honest.
say, I know there are people of
I don't know.
various
She never had any
political
children.
views watching tonight. And I want you to know, I promise to be a president for all
Fair play.
Americans. You can always
I'll put out what I've seen on my Twitter page for y'all guys later.
party and self to hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the
Yeah, there we go.
transfer
Democracy.
of power.
Here we go. Here we go. Trump is a threat to democracy. No policies. Boom. That's the campaign. That's it.
I will
That's
be
it.
a
The only
president
talking point I've
who
heard.
unites us around our highest aspirations. A president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense.
No,
And
this is not. I can't lie. She's not
for the
winning. She's
American
not winning off
people.
this. There's no way
From
she's
the
getting the vote
courthouse
after this.
to the White House, that has
I
been my
agree.
life's work.
She's just talking about how
As a
sick she
young
is, like how great she is,
courtroom
like the whole
prosecutor
time.
in Oakland, California,
Teddy,
I
check the
stood
chat.
up for women and children against
Private
predators
chat,
who
Teddy.
abuse them. As Attorney General of California,
how
I
to-
took on the
okay.
big banks, delivered $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure, and helped pass a homeowner Bill of Rights, one of the first of its kind in the nation. I stood up for veterans and students being scammed by big for-profit colleges, for workers who are being cheated out of their wages, the wages they were due, for seniors facing elder abuse. I fought against the cartels who traffic in guns and drugs and human beings, who threaten the security of our border and the safety of our communities. And I will tell you, these fights were not easy, and neither were the elections that put me in those offices. We were underestimated at practically every turn, but we never gave up,
Because you
because
were
the
terrible.
future is always worth fighting for.
It's the same old. It's the past unburdened by what it's been. That's what she always says.
For America's
Yep.
future.
You've been in power for
Fellow
3
Americans,
bloody years.
this election is not only the most important
Democracy.
our lives. It is one of the most important in the life of our nation. In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
Okay.
But the
Hypocritical
consequences,
right there. I can't
but the
lie.
consequences
She's an unserious
of putting
man.
Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious. Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the gravity
No
of
wars.
what has
No
happened
wars.
What
since he
chaos?
lost the
Great
last
calamity.
election.
Great calamity. No wars. Yeah.
Donald
great
Trump
point.
tried to throw away your votes. When he
What?
failed, he sent an armed mob to
Hmm?
the United States
Oh,
Capitol.
here we go.
What?
Oh my God.
Here we
law
go. Here we go.
Armed.
Wait.
Armed.
Politicians in his own party begged him to call off the mob
Oh
and
no.
send help.
Oh, you are fucking lying. Sorry, Ruby.
Fanned the
He's
flame.
lying through her
I can't
teeth.
believe she said that.
I know, right?
Peacefully protest.
Different set of crimes. He was found guilty of fraud by a jury of everyday Americans, and separately found liable for committing sexual abuse.
Oh
And that,
no.
yeah,
Consider
They're going all the way.
Consider
That was
what
all
he
made up.
intends to do
Yep.
if we give him power again.
Mm-mm.
Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers
Like
at the
you
Capitol.
said.
What?
What? Like,
Explicit intent to jail journalists, political
What?
opponents, and anyone
They say
he
Trump's
sees as
unhinged.
the enemy. His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens.
What?
Consider
wow.
the power he will have, especially after the United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution.
Oh, we've already talked about that. You're lying. You are.
That's why I brought that up.
Imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
He had 4
He would
years of
use
power.
the
What did he?
immense powers of the presidency of the United States.
It's Hillary.
Not
She's
to
lost it. She's
improve
lost
your
it. She's
life.
lost it. No.
Wow.
No,
Not
she's
to strengthen
this is the
our
weakest.
national security.
This is so weak. This
but
is
to
so
serve
weak.
the only client he has ever had.
Himself.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And we know what a second Trump term would look like. It's all laid out in Project 2025, written by his closest advisors.
I knew it.
And its sum total to pull our
I
country
see you,
back to
Steph.
the
You gotta
past.
connect your device back
But
again,
America,
so you can come back up.
we are not going back. We are not.
You know, she's the one that released all the people that were arrested during the burning of Minnesota.
Yep.
Going back.
The riots, the 2020 riots.
She set up the bail fund.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
some prosecutor, isn't she? She's some prosecutor. She's
When
some.
he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
Oh my God, this is
Insurance
crazy.
companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions.
They're running on
We
lies.
are not
Oh,
going
totally.
to let him eliminate the Department of Education.
Okay,
No,
gotcha,
it needs,
Steph.
it needs to be eliminated.
Can you hear
All
me?
she's
Yes,
yes,
Just a
Steph.
we can hear you,
scathing attack on Trump. Just all they do is just Trump. If he gets in, the world will explode. That's it.
America, we are not going back.
Oh, now they're going to start their little chant. There's their chant. This is insane.
What's that chant?
Wow.
What are they chanting?
We won't go back.
We won't go back.
Starting a new way forward.
New World Order.
Forward
Ugh.
to a future.
While you listen to her, look at her being the spokesperson for the deep state.
Strong middle class has always been critical to America's success. And
It's almost more of a
building
puppet than Biden.
that middle class will be a defining role of my presidency.
Wow.
Oh, they look excited, don't they?
I'll tell you, this is personal for me.
Mate,
The
they've been on the
middle
verge of
class
tears and no
is
one was
where I come
crying.
from. My mother kept a
Sure
strict
excited.
budget. We lived within our means, yet we wanted for little. And she expected
Oh,
us
she's just
to make
the
the
thing is
most
she's just
of the
annoying. She's not going to
opportunities
win the
that were
vote. She's
available
not going to
to
win the
us,
vote.
and
Yeah.
to be grateful for them. Because as she taught us, opportunity is not available to everyone.
Yes, it is.
That's why we will create what I call an opportunity economy where everyone has the chance to compete and a chance to succeed. Whether
Wow.
you live in a rural area, small town, or big city. And as president, I will bring together labor and workers and small business
They say
owners
Trump's a
and
populist. Listen to what she's
entrepreneurs
saying
and
right now.
American
Yep.
Every
companies
community is
to
going to get
create jobs, to grow our economy,
just-
and to lower the cost of everyday needs like healthcare and housing and groceries. We will provide access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders.
Why didn't they do that
And
already?
We will end
Exactly.
America's housing shortage.
We will. Oh no, but she will. Yeah, she will.
Protect Social Security and
You're right, Ruby. You're
healthcare.
completely right.
Wow, the government's having a big old hand in helping
Now,
everybody,
compare
aren't they?
that to Donald Trump, because I think everyone here knows he doesn't actually fight for the middle class. He doesn't actually fight for the middle class. Instead, he fights for himself and his billionaire friends.
Oh my
And he
God.
will give them another round of tax breaks that will add up to $5 trillion to the national debt.
She's
I
talking
never
about
got a-
billionaires.
All the
Her
while,
I never
campaign
got a
has
job from a
got
poor
billion.
person.
what in effect is a national sales tax, call it
Good
a
point,
Trump
Julie.
tax,
But
that
she's
would
a
raise
billionaire. She's
prices
got $1
on
billion
middle-class
invested
families
from
by
who?
almost $4,000
Her
Yep.
campaign.
a
She's
year.
got $1 billion. Where's that come from? Another
Well,
500
instead of a
million out of
Trump
nowhere, and
tax
everyone's like,
hike,
"Whoa,
we will pass a middle-class
where's
tax cut
where's that come from?"
that will
A
benefit
billion,
more
a
than
million
100
different
million
people putting in
Americans.
$1,000. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just
This has been fun.
it's just two
Friends,
sides of the same coin,
believe
isn't it? Like
America
she's saying
cannot
she's
truly be prosperous unless Americans are fully able to make their own decisions about their own lives,
Oh, here we go.
especially on matters of heart and home.
it's gonna go abortion tax.
Yep. Yep.
But tonight in America, too many women are not able to make those
Yep.
decisions.
Yeah.
And let's be clear about how we got here. Donald Trump handpicked members of the United States Supreme Court to take away reproductive freedom.
And you handpicked
And
judges
now
to fucking
he
indict him.
brags about
Exactly.
it. In his words, quote, "I did it and I'm proud to have done it," end quote.
And she's proud to
Well, I'll tell you,
label him as a
over
sexual
the past
abuser
2 years,
and
I've
this and
traveled
that.
across our country, and women have told me their stories.
And no one's seen it.
Husbands and fathers have shared theirs. Stories of women miscarrying in a parking lot, developing sepsis, losing the ability to ever again have children, all because doctors are afraid they may go to jail for caring for their patients. Couples just trying to grow their family, cut off in the middle of IVF treatments. Children who have survived sexual assault, potentially being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. This is what's happening in our country.
Potentially,
Because of
that's
Donald
not true.
Trump.
That's not
Yeah.
true.
And
There's
understand
ways
That rarely
there are
happens.
ways that rarely
As a
happens.
part of his agenda, he and his allies would limit access to birth control,
Nope.
ban medication
Nope.
abortion,
Nope.
and enact a nationwide abortion ban.
No.
That is a freaking lie, Kamala.
He never
Get
said
this.
that. Never said that.
Get this, he plans to create a national anti-abortion coordinator
Nope.
and force
Nope.
states to report
Mm-mm.
on women's miscarriages and abortions.
No.
Nope.
False.
Simply put, they are out of their minds.
When they tell you one thing, think the opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
So policies we've got so far. She's
Zero.
gonna help every single little town in
One
America
must
grow
ask,
businesses,
why
and she's gonna
exactly is
protect
it
abortion.
that they don't
Boom.
trust women? Well, we trust women.
You can't even define what a woman is.
That too. That too.
And when Congress passes a
Hit him,
bill
Jimmy. Hit him.
to
That was brilliant.
restore reproductive freedom, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
Wow.
God help us if, oh my Lord, this would be horrible.
In this election, many other fundamental freedoms are at stake. The freedom to live safe from gun violence in
here
our
goes
schools,
guns.
communities, and places of worship. The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride.
Oh my.
Yeah, here we go.
The freedom
Here goes the
to
pandering.
breathe clean air and drink clean water
hasn't
and
stopped,
live
mate.
free from the pollution that fuels the climate crisis.
Has anybody ever ran on dirty air and dirty
Freedom
water?
that unlocks
The
all
Green Party?
others the freedom to vote.
No, advocating for it.
With
Everybody
this
wants clean air and
election,
clean water.
we
She
Oh,
says she's
finally
pro-business,
have the
but what?
opportunity to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act.
Wait, there's already the freedom to vote. Oh my God.
I didn't know that was an
And
issue.
Let me be clear.
Oh,
And let me be clear. After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border. Last
Oh.
year, Joe and I brought
She did
together
not.
Democrats and conservative Republicans
oh
to
wow.
write the strongest border bill in decades.
It's not been
The
done
Border
yet.
Patrol
Jimmy.
endorsed it.
This is a Biden.
But Donald
bill.
Trump believes a border deal would hurt his campaign. So he
What?
ordered his allies
I'm
in Congress
confused.
to kill the deal.
You
I'm
don't
reading
even
the deal that she.
To
Wait,
play
so Jimmy,
politics
I'm
with our
reading
security.
the deal right
And
now, and
here is
one of the
my
main
quote
things
to you.
is to protect politics being
President, I
influenced by
will
money.
back the bipartisan
She's got the
border security
most
bill that he killed,
money
and I
of
will sign
any
it into
candidate
law.
ever in American history,
Yeah.
and she's
I
writing in a
know.
bill after she gets into
I
power
know
to
we
stop
can
that.
live
Yeah,
up
that sounds very democratic.
to our
Yeah, doesn't
proud
it? Yeah, very
heritage as a
democratic.
nation of immigrants and reform our broken immigration system. We can create an earned pathway to citizenship and secure our border.
Absolutely not. Nope. Mm-mm.
Well, you've done a great job so far, haven't you, love?
And America,
Orders are.
we must also be
Orders are.
steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad. As Vice President, I have confronted threats to our security, negotiated with foreign leaders, strengthened our alliances, and engaged with our brave troops overseas. As Commander-in-Chief,
Oh God,
I
no.
will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
Does anybody buy that?
And I will fulfill our sacred obligation.
You've really got that because of Trump's investment. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, this is brutal.
Never disparage their service.
No, she's
and their
lost it. She's
sacrifice.
lost it. She's. There's no way. I think there's
crazy.
no way. Yeah. John Marciano, tell him. I don't think there's any way that.
The crowd's not even engaged.
No, exactly. I was gonna say as well. You're right.
Into
Completely
the
right.
future on space and artificial intelligence, that America, not China, wins the competition for the 21st century, and that we strengthen, not abdicate, our global leadership.
I thought Biden was on drugs.
Trump, on the other hand, threatened to abandon NATO.
Yes.
Encouraged Putin to invade our allies.
Mm-mm.
No.
Russia could
No, it didn't.
hell they want. 5 days before Russia attacked
Oh my
Ukraine,
God.
with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a global response over 50 countries to defend against Putin's aggression.
Uh,
Oh my God.
And as president,
that needs to be fact checked.
That bloke's about to fall asleep. Jimmy, repeat what she just said. I'll fact check it.
That she helped mobilize 50 nations
to the war in Gaza.
to help Ukraine.
President Biden and I are working
I think
around the clock. Because now is
I'm
the
pretty sure that
time
did
to
happen
get
under
a
Biden.
hostage
It
deal
wasn't her.
and a ceasefire deal done.
They could have done that already.
And let me
That's what she was saying that they did in the beginning.
And let me be clear.
Well, they've got
I
Russian
will
territory now, so.
always
Can you hear me?
stand up for
Oh,
Israel's
God, yes.
right to defend
Yes.
itself.
I finally got on my
And
computer. I kept having a pop-up.
Israel has the ability
Did you wake up, Steph?
to defend itself because the people of Israel must never again
Problem
face
on my,
the horror that a terrorist organization
phone.
called Hamas caused on October 7, including unspeakable sexual violence and the massacre of young people at a music festival.
They've been doing
At
it
the
to the
same
Palestinians
time,
for 75 years.
What has
Shush.
happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. So many innocent lives lost.
Talk about sitting on the
Desperate,
fence. Oh,
hungry
God.
people fleeing
Yeah.
for safety over and over again. The scale of suffering is heartbreaking.
You're supplying
President
the
Biden and I are
fucking
working
weapons.
to end
Oh
this
my
war
dear Lord. This
such
is just.
that Israel
It's actually
is
South Park.
secure,
It's actually
the
a South Park
hostages
episode,
are
I swear.
released, the suffering
America's
in
not
Gaza
real anymore.
ends,
Like, what
and the
is- what am I
Palestinian
watching?
people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and
Tell Hamas to quit hiding behind citizens.
Well, if you don't want Palestinians to fucking die, stop supplying the bloody bombs to them, and maybe they won't. Maybe,
This is
maybe Israel. Where are they getting their weapons from?
Yep.
Only one source.
to defend
From
our
you
forces
guys.
and our interests against Iran and Iran-backed terrorists. I will not cozy up to tyrants and dictators like Kim Jong-un who are rooting for Trump.
Oh my
Kim
God.
Jong-un. What's Kim Jong-un done in the last few
Wow.
years? Literally.
They know.
Rocket Man has been signed.
They
Oh my
know
lord.
he is
Oh Jimmy,
easy to
I know
manipulate
you
with
have so much to
flattery
say
and
about this.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to hear your
They
consensus
know
on this.
Trump
It's gonna be
won't
brilliant.
hold autocrats accountable because he
I need
wants
to go to
be
bed
an
soon, though.
autocrat
Instead of
himself.
talking about what she wants to do, she's just bashing
And as
Trump.
president,
Mm-hmm.
I will never waver in defense of America's security and ideals because in the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny, I know where I stand and I know where the United States belongs.
Democracy and tyranny are the same thing.
Let's not get fascist on this. Oh, Jimmy.
It's the same thing. Different degrees, but same thing. Wow. Wow. This is
I love our country with all my heart.
wow.
Everywhere I go, in everyone I meet, I see a
They
nation
all
that is
cry
ready
because
to
they've
move
met you.
forward, ready for the next step in the incredible journey that is America. I see an America where we hold fast to the
cringe is
fearless
hurting my
belief
heart right now.
that
I know, right, dude?
built our nation
I gotta
and
smoke.
inspired
I gotta
the
smoke more weed.
world.
Bro,
Here,
Jimmy,
I need another
honestly,
drink.
this country,
I wish.
anything is possible. That
Robert,
nothing
give me a
is
bottle.
Oh,
I'm
man.
desperate.
an America
I'll smoke
where we
after this.
care for one another, look out for one another, and recognize that we have
Bloody
so
hell.
much
Right, I'm
more
getting a bloody
in
beer. Fuck
common
this.
than what separates us. That none of us None of us has to fail for all of us to succeed.
Ruby, I've had fun doing this.
Yeah.
And that in unity there is strength.
I don't know what happened last night. I kept getting, or the 2 nights ago, whenever I was
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
on and off, on and off. I don't know what happened. I just kept
America.
getting pushed off for some
Talking about
reason.
how
But
terrible everything
I
is.
switched to my computer tonight.
Well, my
Yes,
mother
good.
had another lesson she used to teach. Never let anyone tell you who you are. You show them who you are.
And she has
Oh
plenty
my
of
God.
times on her knees.
But she just said,
God.
she just said
There's
all people
my
do is
governor,
talk about how.
Newsom.
Let
Ugh.
us
She just
show
say, she's saying,
each other and the
oh,
world
Jimmy, you
who
dirty
we
dog.
are and what we stand for. Freedom, opportunity, compassion, dignity, fairness, and endless possibilities.
Right, blah, blah, blah. She just said then, I believe, that, stop with all the hate. Oh, stop complaining about how bad everything is.
Mm-hmm.
All she's done the whole time is just complain about how bad Trump is and how
world.
great she is. It's just
And
like
on behalf of our children
she's
and our
complete hypocrite. She's
grandchildren
everything
and
that
all
she says
those
Trump
who
is.
sacrificed
Yep.
Right.
so dearly
4
for
days
our
of repetition.
freedom
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
liberty.
Oh, I've heard nothing
We
new.
must
Nothing new, Ruby.
be
Yep,
worthy
me neither.
of this moment. It is now our turn to do what generations before us have done.
12 of the last.
What are you gonna do? What are
Yes.
you going to do?
And face
Oh my
to
God.
fight for this
It's
I'm at my
country
their
wits.
we
turn.
love,
It's their turn.
to fight for
12
the
of the last
ideals
16
we
years,
cherish,
they've been in
and to
power.
uphold
Yep.
the awesome responsibility that comes with the greatest
No, she's
privilege
not.
on earth. The
She's
privilege
not.
and
She's
pride
not getting
of being
anything
an
with this.
American.
I just can't imagine, like, she appeals to minorities and stuff. I can't imagine minorities giving a fuck about what she's saying. What's she giving? What's she giving for people like that to actually fight on? There's no substance to this. No substance. All it is slander. Just slander.
Ever told.
Is she ending it? She
Oh,
ended it
thank God.
with that?
Oh.
That was it?
Of America.
Oh, thank God.
America. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Seriously. Yeah. Oh dear Lord.
Yes.
She didn't say, she did not say one thing that they would do policy wise to help American citizens. Not one damn thing.
Yep.
You're right. I can't
Wow.
think of anything apart from strengthening abortion control, probably overturning Roe v. Wade. I think is what she was hinting at.
Strengthening
really.
NATO.
Strengthening NATO. All right, more war in Ukraine.
Yes.
She says she talks about guns. She talks about guns and how Americans aren't safe. Didn't say a bloody word about it. Let's be honest. Like,
Oh my God! I tell you what, the internet is going to blow up over this.
Yeah, so many lies, man. So many
I
lies.
can't lie. I can't lie. How much more of the DNC are we gonna like? Is this it? Is this the
That's
end?
it. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's it. 4 days up.
That's it. You're
Yep,
joking.
I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody saw my comment earlier before I was like on here, but I had saw something today where they were interviewing people. I think they were at the DNC or around the DNC, and they would ask, or maybe it was in the airport. I can't remember, but they were saying, "So what policies of Kamala do you love? Do you like?" Not one of them could think of anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, wait. You should see. I posted. I commented. So I follow this account on. It's like a trading account in the UK, and they put it's breaking news. Kamala's campaign reports raising 500 million 1 month brings the total to more than $1 billion. How did she raise so much money so quickly? Tell me your thoughts. And I jokingly put, with sarcasm, from being a strong candidate! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! got 14 replies from obviously people saying, and it's like, oh, you know, the only things I got from so everyone in the comments, I'm obviously I'm taking the piss, I'm joking, and every single comment is just describes every single reason why. Not a single reply, like Steph said, not a single reply defending her, being like, yes, I got like 24 likes or something on it. It was a small post, but I got 24 likes, and I got more comments saying, what the fuck? The people want that. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
Do you know what I mean? That's the point. It's like there's a million reasons why she's, you know, she's there's nothing to do. Oh, look, balloons everywhere. And
So I want to make this. I want to do an observation here with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the RNC, at the end of that last night when they had Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, I know those are celebrities. I know, but just I'm going off the energy of the crowd. Do the people at the DNC actually look like they were energized? Do they look like they were happy?
Half asleep.
No, it's nothing like the RNC.
It was totally different. Totally opposite.
That's a good point, Jamie.
I saw clips
That's a
of
good
that.
point.
They both, if I could say, they both play the celebrity cards, don't they? Went to appeal.
Well, yeah, they do. But I'm just looking at
a massive part of this campaign. But also, you're right. You are right, Jimmy, because it's like someone like Kid Rock, and you know, people like that. They're fervently supporting Trump. It's obvious, but there's the support on someone like John Legend just bringing out random people. They come out, play a song, say vote for Kamala. Kid Rock has got a million reasons why he's voting for Trump. A billion reasons why.
And they express that.
People, no, but they've got people that express their gratitude consistently all the time to come on and say the right, you know, say what they believe. It's just the disparity is just a joke. Like,
let's just face it too. Trump, the RNC had way better performers. Sorry, I love Kid Rock.
I'm telling you what, Hulk Hogan killed me. That was funny. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, way better entertainment at the RNC.
Yes,
that was American culture. That was the culture. What you saw at the DNC is Hollywood.
That's the flag. You're right,
Yeah,
Ruby.
oh my god! I mean, it doesn't even compare.
They're for the flag. Let's be honest.
Doesn't even compare to the DNC.
Wow, the internet is going to blow up tonight on this stuff. X is going to be crazy.
I'm so glad we did those episodes.
To watch it.
Yeah, I'm so glad we did those episodes prior to all of this because me and Jimmy had covered some of these things already. And we've had these phone calls already. So this is not a shock to me right now. It would have been if I would have never started this, never opened the discourse or even talked to Jimmy. So I'm so glad we did all of this. And then we saw it. I kind of feel mentally prepared to see the lies, say that it is a lie when it's there. And we don't even have to really fact check that because we already know the truth of what it is. And they just spew the lies as if that's real misinformation.
Hey, Ruby. How's the journey of waking up, baby?
So
it's fun, isn't it?
Okay, hold on. That's a good question.
British. Is that a little bit of a British accent from Jimmy there? He's getting it's fun, isn't it?
It's fun, ain't it?
Listen, I only got politically active and I started waking up about a year ago that I said, I need to take this seriously. I need to register to vote. 2018, I was like, Andrew Gillum cannot win the governorship. I said Ron DeSantis has to win. That was my awakening. I said, I don't like this guy. There's something about him. I don't like it. And then the scandal came out years later.
Yes.
Good.
Right. Okay. So that was my few awakenings. Then my uncle was kind of like a Jimmy. He was very like conspiracy, saying like Michelle Obama was a man, J-Lo's a tranny. He was like, everybody in Hollywood is a tranny. And I used to laugh it off and I'm like, oh, stop. And it was kind of like that uncle niece type of banter that you just have fun. But then I started waking up. I was like, oh, snap. Maybe what he's saying is true. And then he was the first person who showed me what BitTrue was. And he was like, you need to start going on these types of websites. And I was so scared, so fearful, because that's like apostate stuff.
Right.
It was along the lines of that. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that even with religious stuff. Why would I do it with politics? And this is my JW uncle telling me to do this. Like, I felt so conflicted.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's, yeah, and he was so full-blown Jehovah's Witness that he would tell me, and this is weird because he would tell me, why don't you just write a letter to Watchtower and just disassociate? Why do you keep this up? I know you're not going to be a witness. And it was like he could see right through me, and I was like, I was scared because then I thought he was going to out me, and he was like, who cares? Just write a letter and stop putting a front. So he was like really like pushing me to just be my true self and just do it. And I'm like, I can't do that because then my family's going to shun me. And he was like, who cares? It's like, so what? And you know, he was the only person who would call me at least once a year. He would call me and say, so you really think the governing body is false? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I do. And then we would just talk about politics, and he would just be like a regular uncle for at least 20 minutes. And then that was it. Like, he kept the boundary. But that's what's weird. It's like, that was my awakening process. So when I met you, Jimmy, I was like, oh my God, that's my uncle. Like, I feel like that's my uncle pushing me.
The double X.
Yeah.
I have a whole different story because I was third generation born in and stayed until I was freaking 49. I'm 51 now, but I was very, like, the whole politics thing is not new to me. My dad was, my parents were pretty kind of into they were into politics. I'm gonna have to say they would be definitely, you know, Republicans if they were able to vote and all that. And my stepdad, who raised me since I was like 5, he actually, and he ended up, you know, it's a long story, but my mom had multiple affairs with him and got disfellowshipped. Well, anyway, yeah, she was married to my bio dad, who was a real jerk. And
Steffi's mom has got it going on. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. My mom was awesome, though. My mom was she was an awesome mom. She
Sounds
died
like
last
it.
year.
I'm kidding.
But she did. She had multiple affairs with my stepdad, and
Wow.
the crazy thing is, so she divorced my dad. She got disfellowship, married the guy she was having this affair with, and then brought him into the cult. And then he raised me, and he was a great dad. Like, oh my God, I just love him. And he's still alive. He's 83 now, or gonna be 83 at the end of the year. Sorry. But he's amazing. And later, like way later, he became an elder, and he wasn't for a long time, but where was I going with this story? Oh, he was he loved Paul. He had he not been a witness, he always said he would have probably went into politics. So I was pretty educated on politics as a child, even as a witness, because of him. You know, my parents kept up on politics, and my dad would like explain stuff to me. And so, yeah, wasn't as far behind as Ruby. But yeah, so yeah, I'm sure he's going crazy right now. I think once my mom passed away very, very unexpectedly last year, she was real healthy, not on any medications, went to the gym 3 times a week with my dad. So it was very unexpected. But anyway, he doesn't even like to even talk about it anymore. Like politics, like it's just too overwhelming right now for him. But prior to that, you know, that's how I knew a lot about politics and, you know, Republican versus Democratic. And of course, we've learned a lot over the COVID thing. I've learned even way more. So yeah, it still fascinates me, and I'm grateful for him to have, like, that I grew up having that knowledge, unlike a lot of witnesses. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's cool. That's cool. There was one reoccurring thing I'm noticing when I ask people, when did you wake up from politics? And, mine was March 2020. Ruby's was last year. The majority of people I talk to, it's happened in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I could see why.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I mean, I'm going to say I knew a lot about politics prior, but, even people in the know still learned, oh my God, so much,
totally.
more about politics in
Yes.
the last 4 years. So you're 100% right. Yeah.
If I could interject and carry on what you're saying, Steph. I'm very proud of you lot for just sticking it out and getting out of the system you're in, because it's been a learning curve for me with you guys, because obviously I'm not an XJW, and but I'm very proud of you lot for actually taking it out of getting out of there and figuring it out for yourself. It's very commendable to do that. And
Thank you.
it's honestly I have a lot of respect for you guys, a lot. It takes a lot to do that, and it's also understandable as well that you guys you wake up. You know what I mean? It is somewhat of an awakening in many ways. I've seen I've done a little bit of research on the side about JWs and stuff, and I didn't realize for the whole time that it was such a strict culture and religion. It's like very disgusting the way that you're treated, and all I can say is I'm very proud of you lot for sticking it out and getting to that point.
Thank you.
Daddy.
I saw you on the other night. How did you get onto this live stream? Not being a witness.
Yeah, how'd you find us?
It was the first DNC live stream, I think, that Ruby did, I think, and I just,
was it on my channel or the other channel? Do you remember?
It was on Ruby. It was on the Ruby Quinn channel. Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out the Ruby
It just
Quinn
popped
channel.
up on your feed
Algorithm.
It just came up, yeah, and I joined
Wow.
in, and there was not many things. And obviously, I thought it was just you were talking about politics and everything, and I have an interest in that. And my family are split Catholic Protestant, so it's I don't have any family there, the JWs, but they come to my house all the time, and they're dressed up, and they look down on you in a way. They really do. They come to your house, and I'm like, all right, bugger off. You know what I mean? It's like I've seen you. I get what you're doing. Piss off. Like it's very obvious.
Teddy, how old are you, man?
How it's cultish. I'm 24.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
you're
Nice.
you're an old soul. You
Yes,
have a
he
lot
is.
of wisdom for your age. I'm very impressed.
I want to say this: if you ever come to the United States, I have a place here for you to come hang out.
That's awesome.
I'd love to smoke up with Jimmy any day.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could talk about conspiracies all day of the week.
Oh yeah, we can sit right here.
I love it.
We can sit right here by my lake, and we can partake and we can chat. So you're welcome at my home anytime, brother.
Thank you very much, mate. And likewise, if you ever want to come to London, come by and swing by.
That'd be cool.
No problem. But I have got American family actually. They live in New Jersey, but they're all Democrats, and they're difficult to get to. Like Trump is big no. I just don't bring him up whenever I see him, because
I understand that
you can't talk about it. It's like they literally make it so you can't talk about
Right
about it. That's how it is.
Mhm.
And I think that's why it's like, oh, you've woken up, you know what I mean? You've had a
Mhm.
little awakening.
Mhm.
It makes total sense to me. I really feel for you guys, in that sense, and
So,
it's
what do
very
y'all?
understandable.
Oh, you're fine, brother. So, what do y'all think RFK is going to announce tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a good thing. I love him. I'm not gonna lie. I love RFK. I think
Likewise.
I was going to like 90%, 80 to 90% still vote for Trump, but there was like a part of me that wanted to vote for RFK. And I think if he just drops out, it just makes it so much easier for everybody who's like conflicted. So
Let me
and if
let me
he
Trump would have won by now, in my opinion, if he put him as his VP.
I was getting ready to say that. What would y'all think if Trump drops Vance because some information comes out about Vance proving that he's really a bad guy? You know how Trump likes to put people in the spotlight. So drop Vance and take Kennedy on as VP.
can he do that? Can he do that, Jimmy?
He could totally do that.
He could
Oh
do
my
it, but
God, I
it'd
didn't even
be
think about that.
late. It'd be very. The only
It
problem
could
is
still be
it'd
done.
very late. But if he was gonna swap out Vance with anyone, it'd be RFK. I mean,
That would be amazing. I would be down with that.
Okay, wait. A couple of
I
questions.
would be down with that, but I just don't see it happening.
Does anybody know if there is any deadlines when it comes to VP or tickets or anything like that when it comes to running for president? I don't think there's a deadline, right?
I don't think there's a deadline.
Okay. And then my next question for anybody who is a RFK Jr. supporter, either on the chat or Steph, if you want to answer it, tell me, why do you like him so much? Like, what is it? I don't know too much about him, but obviously the history family, the Kennedys and stuff like that. But what do you love about him or his policies running for president?
Oh my God. I fucking love his commitment against vaccines and his knowledge of what damage they do to people.
Yep.
And then what was the other? There's several other things, policies. He's for the environment. That's fine.
Steph, can I back you up right here? Because I think that if I could vote for anyone, it'd be RFK. Out of anyone. I would love to have seen him as a president. I think that the Kennedys, they've had, there's been there's a lot of tragic history with the Kennedys. They've been murdering him for a long time. And he is, like I think I said on the first podcast, I think that liberal conservatism is the best way for in politics. And that's what the Kennedys want. That's what they believed in. RFK believes in, for example, he's a big guy. He's maintained his health very well. He believes, and so did Kennedy, in making every American do trials in school for physical education. He is a fervent believer in that sense. He makes under JFK, it was what's the word? It was mandatory to have everyone to be able to do 15 pull-ups, 15 press-ups.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I remember that in school.
So that's what that administration brought, and that's what America needs. He believes in natural health, and he believes in he's anti-farmer, big pharma, and he's anti-big, not big business, but anti-big conglomerates. It's not just like it's not just anti-business. It's not like he's pro-business, free market like Trump, but he's also a bigger. He speaks out more about farmer.
Yes, that's what I love about him. Yes, I love that about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate the
totally
choice.
agree with you. I totally
He
agree with you.
speaks my language in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I think he speaks for most Americans. I just don't think he has the platform, and I think that he has been silenced a lot because of he speaks out about the vaccine. He speaks about the vaccine, criticizes the
Okay,
vaccine, and
censored.
that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that works.
Go ahead, Jimmy, and then I'm gonna
No,
go to
no,
Deborah.
no. Go ahead. It's your job. Go ahead. Go. You go.
Okay, just really quickly. Deborah said, interesting that when he was running as a Democrat, his family didn't support him. So that was my next question. Wasn't he a Democrat and then switched to independent?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
Yeah.
it's the whole Kennedy family have always been Democrats, and his family came
Yes,
out
they
about
have.
him
Yeah.
but it was as soon as he started talking about the vaccine that it was
They
his
turned on
nephew.
him.
It was I believe it was a young nephew, and it was people fringe characters in the Kennedy family who've really done nothing for themselves. In fairness, so it's not RFK is a successful guy. He beat addiction. He's done so much. He believes also very much in anti-addiction policies. He's
Yes.
one of the only people talking about the fentanyl crisis. Where's Kamala's speech about the opioid crisis in America? He's the only one who brings up pharma and the damage it's done. It's like he brings up the obvious points that are destroying the everyday lives of Americans. And that's the disparity. Sorry.
Ruby,
Okay.
are there any more comments? I mean, I know we probably missed a lot, but are there any more that are interesting?
I think I brought them up throughout the conversation. Just some comments about RFK, Gigi's in the chat, of course. Empath lady. Not really that much, but did you want to go ahead with your thought that you had before?
On Ukraine?
I think you were gonna say something. I don't
Oh
know.
no, something. Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Okay, so since we all know that I'm the conspiracy theorist, I guess you could say. Have you guys and I don't talk about it because I can't prove any of it, and I already look crazy enough, so I don't mention it enough. So, but here we go. I've been partaking, so I don't give a crap.
Just Jimmy, go ahead.
Have you heard, and what would your thoughts be if JFK Jr. was alive?
Oh my God.
I'll let Ruby and Steph say.
If who was alive? Say that again.
JFK. That's his dad? That's his dad, right?
No. JFK Jr., John Kennedy's son.
Junior.
The one that ran for Senate in 1999 for 2000 and
was in the plane crash?
And was killed in the plane crash, and then Hillary Clinton won the Senate seat.
Oh my God.
Okay. I gotta do my research on that. I don't know. I'm too young.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
JFK Jr.
And he's the one that died in the plane crash with his wife, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
This is the first I've heard of that as a conspiracy theory. I'm very into conspiracy theories. I'm not saying I believe them all, but I love considering them all.
Yeah, nothing's off the table. I mean, when you start,
nothing's off the table with me.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to think about this one.
Teddy, what were you going to say?
I think they did something to the plane to make him, I would think that more than anything.
Here's another thing. Trump and JFK Jr., they were best friends.
So JFK Jr. in many ways was like America's sweetheart. He was a very good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He was a prominent lawyer. He did a lot for human rights. One of the things that JFK Jr. also believed in was he was an advocate for reducing the U.S. military presence globally and unraveling the empire by closing overseas bases. So he similarly to Trump. Trump took a lot of leaves from JFK Jr.
Yes,
I don't think that he's, as Julie says in the comments, I don't think that he's still alive. I think that he is dead. I think that he was. It's I don't know if he was murdered or not, but it's the things that he was saying, and he was anti-imperialist. Similarly to the whole Kennedy family, they've always had. They were the true, in my opinion, the true last conservative Democrats. If you know what
All
I
I
mean.
see is
They
the
had-
chat.
they had-
All I
How
see
does
is the
Deborah
chat
know?
blowing up.
How does Deborah only say she's saying only 17 attended his funeral? How do you know that? I'm curious. I haven't heard that.
Well, I'll fact check that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me throw this at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh my God. All right. Rumor has it, you know how I told you that the United States corporation is dead and the republic has been reborn?
Mm-hmm.
There's rumor out there, and I wish I could prove it, that Trump is still commander in chief, but JFK Jr. is his vice president.
Nah.
I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think of that.
Jimmy, the bloke's dead. We know that JFK.
I'm just putting it out there. That's what they're saying.
I love that.
I
But
think
also,
that's
it's not-
fantasy
it's
thinking, because I think that would
it's
be
also-
like an amazing thing, but I just don't think I think it's fantasy land.
That's fair.
No,
Hey.
Jimmy, I've seen this before. It's definitely a very MAGA like belief. It was actually QAnon, I believe, that got into.
Actually, somebody asked Q on the boards one time if JFK Jr. was alive, and the Q boards came back and said no.
But it was the QAnon. But I think
No.
the QAnon. The QAnon supporters. Not
It was
himself.
some of the supporters.
Not the man himself, but it was the supporters of him.
Some of them, yes.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
So I just wanted to put it out. I mean, that's why I don't talk.
I like it. We like that. We love that.
That's why I don't talk about it, because I can't prove it, and it just sounds really, really crazy. But that's why I also say nothing's off the table.
Trump card says JFK is alive.
He lives in Antarctica, Gigi says.
Because here's one.
He lives in Atlantis. He lives in ancient Egypt. I'm telling you.
Here's one little theory. Think about this. JFK Jr., let's say he never gave up. Let's just hypothetically.
He's right.
Let's say he never gave up to find out who really killed his dad.
Right.
And then when he found out who really killed his dad and he wanted to take him down, I think there's a comment that he made, or was in George Magazine, where he says, I'm going to take him. If I take one down, I'm going to take the whole damn government down.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he's best friends with Trump, and Trump,
like, no, I'm going to take you down.
And Trump was working, he was helping the FBI back in the 80s and the 90s. They were best friends. They have the same kind of thought on everything, like Teddy just highlighted. Who's to say that they didn't conspire something, the plan, and have it all play out? If that's the case, oh my God.
But why would JFK Jr. want to spend the rest of his life it just incognito? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
There's a lot of people that are in witness protection.
But I don't think that would be very fun.
Well, we don't know what witness protection's like.
Jimmy,
most people want to have fun.
So Jimmy, so the facts are with JFK Jr. and his dad, he was 3 years old, obviously, when his dad was assassinated. He was very young, and he grew up to be a very prominent lawyer, and all that. However, he spoke out, and there's no evidence of him saying, but I believe that it's privately known that he suggested that the CIA killed his father.
Correct.
RFK Jr. also suggests many times, and I know this for a fact, that the CIA murdered his father and John Kennedy. They were both. He believes that they were both assassinated by America because of the anti-imperialism policies that he had. As much as he was completely anti-communist, I think that it's pretty obvious that the guy that the Kennedys they were pro-America. They wanted the best for the American people, and they were true leaders. Their family were true leaders. We know that for a fact, I think.
Yes. All of that.
And so someone like RFK, they discredit him. They say, oh, he's an ex-addict, and then they say he's an ex-addict, but then the Democrats will say, oh, he's an ex-addict, and then not talk about the opioid crisis that they created. So
Correct.
it's like it's just smoke and mirrors from them. They'll tear him down and they'll tear him down.
And then you got to ask, just like I did when I woke up, asking why are they always attacking Trump? I found out why. Then use the same thing here. Why are they always attacking RFK?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Exactly. Exactly the same thing. It's because he speaks out about the actual problems that affect American lives. That's why. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like Kamala, look, let's go back to Kamala's speech, because we think about Kamala's speech. We watched that, and we like we were saying, no one in that DNC convention, apart from maybe Bernie Sanders, actually brought up anything, as far as I'm aware, about the American people's everyday lives. And I think that Sanders, I agree with a lot of his points, because a lot of his points are things that we have already in the UK. But and I've made that clear, I think, last time I was on. But it's pretty obvious that it's
these comments are cracking me up. Sorry.
I know everyone's alive. Everyone's been murdered by the CIA. Everyone who's dead has been murdered by the CIA, but they're still alive.
I agree with this one though. The marijuana really increases IQ.
It does.
It opens up your mind.
Why? And you think I'm crazy?
Set of mushrooms.
Jimmy, that's why Jimmy's loaded up 24/7. That's why
I love mushrooms.
Oh, Jimmy, we should do a stream of both of us all the way up there, elevated all the way up to the sky.
I can do that.
Yeah, and we'll set it up, because then I would have to smoke first.
Like I said, most of the times I do any of these videos, I'm medicated.
Stop.
Hey,
Wow.
Hey.
Yes. Every video.
Ribs and Jim, here's say. Next time I get on, I'll get lit as well with you boys. It's been a couple months, but
But
I'm down to get on, and let's get freaky with it. We should do a full on conspiracy talk,
conspiracy
about all
episode.
That stuff.
Yes.
We should do that. We should definitely do that. I think I would be so down for that. Yeah. Anytime. I'll smoke
every video I've done, except the one I did yesterday when I got straight home from work and immediately made that video about immigration. Every other video I've been on, nice. I've been medicated.
How my work doesn't see this.
That's crazy.
Going all the way back to the roundtable episodes.
Is marijuana legal in North Carolina? I don't know.
It is not.
Neither in Florida, but we will work it out.
Florida's okay though. It's fine.
Yeah. So
everything's kind of legal in Florida in a way,
But I tell you what, anyway, that DNC was horrible.
Apart from trespassing.
Yeah.
Right.
That DNC was horrible, just plain and simple. Just nothing but gaslighting, projection, attacking. It's the same old deep state playbook. That's all it was.
The only one that I would give you, Jimmy, is Jeffrey Epstein. I do believe that man was either murdered or he is alive and escaped his sentencing.
There you go.
Murdered. He was murdered, but he was a Mossad agent. I believe.
I believe the military has Epstein.
Yep.
I love. He's got another layer for everything. I love that.
I do. Yeah. There's not a subject I don't think you can bring up that I don't have something to say about.
I swear, like I'll agree with you on one thing, and it's just that's the next level. I love that. It's brilliant. I love to talk. I love to go down the rabbit hole.
But see, here's the thing. Why can't we talk about it? Why can't we have fun with it and talk about some things that could be controversial or hypothetically speak about them? Why not?
I do it all the time.
Yeah. At this point, What have we learned?
It's what we
There
do on
should be
this podcast.
nothing left off the table.
Teddy,
Right.
this is way off the topic, but I'm
Teddy,
curious
are you
what
a Fed?
What time is it? Your time, Teddy?
It's 4:48 in the morning right now.
Yeah, and I got to get up and I got to get up early tomorrow because I got to go down to Charlotte for a meeting. It's like 2 hours away. I got to get up early, and I'm like, oh god, I got about 15 more minutes in me.
Oh, they're saying I'm a Fed because I've disagreed with a few of Jimmy's points. I've literally said I'm down to.
I don't.
Oh, here we go. No, it's the comments are coming through. They're saying I'm a Fed.
The comments.
It's because I fact check. Hey, you need someone here. You need someone here to do a little.
Yeah, we needed you for that, Teddy. We needed you for that.
I like the diversity we have here. This would make for a great show on TV.
But I mean,
I did everything on my computer and not my phone, so I could stay on this time.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to get early.
Has the audience? Let's do this real quick for the folks in the comments. Have you guys liked this format of what we've been doing?
Yes.
Good question. Good question.
We got 21 people watching, so let's see the chat. Everybody, let us know.
As much as I'm a Fed, all right, as much as I worked for the CIA and I killed RFK Jr. I mean, so
yeah, maybe Teddy worked for the CIA.
Jehovah's Debater said no.
No.
Well, sorry.
Well, he's been here all night.
I'm so sorry that you wasted your time, Jehovah's Debater. You wasted your time with us. And our time is
Gigi is my biggest hate. He's never shown his face once on this, so I'd love to go face to face.
What's he saying?
He said Teddy is related to Aunt Mo.
Anthony Morris.
Trump card.
Anthony Morris.
Trump card has two thumbs up. Trump card has
1914 for yes, bit deep, mate. Oh, empath lady, pineal
gland.
We're not getting down to the pineal gland level. Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys, as much news that's going to be popping off between now and November, something like this might be necessary.
Yeah, I will go live. If anything pops off, I'll just go live. I'll just do it.
I'm gonna leave you soon, but I'll go back to I'll go back to Kamala. I'll go back to Kamala quickly.
This has been awesome.
It's nice to speak to you, Seth. It's nice to have a fresh face on it. To be fair, it's usually me. It's usually Gigi just saying I'm young and I don't understand anything. So it's nice. It's nice to see a new character on the little show that we got going.
You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube under Steph Woke Up.
Steph,
okay,
lovely.
Are you on X?
Lovely.
I just joined X, but
Ruby is X border agent. This guy.
I haven't posted anything on there. I have a question about that, Jimmy.
Sure.
I just got a account on there with the Steph Woke Up, thing. Can I post my YouTube videos on there, or how does that work? I have no idea.
Do that.
Oh,
hey, Ruby, would you be so kind to put my Twitter handle in the chat?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Get Jimmy on there. He's speaking the truth out there.
Steph, write my handle down and then search for me, and then I can direct you on stuff.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
No, Jimmy, it's nice to have your Twitter handle as well.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
Sorry. I'm a type A personality. I'm sorry.
Okay, so last thoughts. Teddy, go ahead. Give your last thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Wait a minute. J.S. Bell?
Yeah. Okay. Capital J, capital S, capital B.
J.S. Bell, 1973.
1970. Oh, that's my same year. That's right. We're born the same year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got
it. If I could do a little conclusion, finalize some thoughts, it's pretty obvious that from that I don't think that she's getting the vote. There was nothing. The American people are thick, they're not idiots. Like they can see that for what it is. They want to hear policies. They want to hear what's actually going to affect them. She doing an umbrella term saying about, I'm gonna save all the working towns in America. How? What she said? Nothing. Says absolutely no policies, nothing of substance. There's just no substance. The thing is, with the difference between the RNC and the DNC, I think it's just like both of them. They utilize the celebrities and stuff. But like we said earlier, Ruby as well. You were saying it's they get people like Kid Rock and stuff. As much as he might be on a little bit of Jimmy's side with a few of the things he says, he's he's for, like we said, he's for the flag. He's for America. He's for the people. And people like that, they're just bringing out willy-nilly DEI hires. Basically it's just the whole DNC, it stinks. All it is just they're pandering to everyone about social issues, but give no solutions to anything. And then they'll also go ahead and just bring out black people on the first 2 nights, and then just bring out all the white people after. It just stinks. It just stinks. It just stinks. The whole thing just stinks. Trump went out by himself on a stage with all the with a load of black journalists in front of a crowd of black people, and said immigrants are taking black jobs. That's something that's a difficult thing to say. And he said it, and he went out there and he did it. And I can't lie, I think that they probably agreed with him. After seeing Kamala, it's pretty obvious who's there for the ethnic minorities and stuff. That's their appeal, but it's pretty obvious that who's got the policies here. Trump's laid out a divisive plan. Kamala, the Biden Harris campaign, they may have done a few things for Medicare. There's no overarching policy that they can stick by. Really, the economy is not as good. The stock market's up, but the average American is down. Under Trump, it was not the same. Those gas prices at the lowest point. There was plenty of reasons why.
Yes.
There was plenty of reasons why the average American believes that Trump is the candidate that they believe in. That's all I can say, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think it's just so obvious from tonight, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate that viewpoint. I think it's spot on. Thank you.
Thanks, Teddy. We'll hope to
thank
see
you,
you
guys.
soon on future shows. Whenever you want to come on, you are always welcome to join us. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No problem.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Daddy.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'll see you later. Good night.
Take care, brother.
Good night.
Bye. See you, Jimmy. Bye, Ruby. Bye.
See you, buddy.
See you later, guys.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Hi,
a great
Tad.
guy. He's such a great guy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, Tad. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Jimmy, sorry. Please forgive Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
I just want to say one thing. I cannot say anything because Japan is a colony of the United States. But the United States has lost the trust of the world. Please, the American people, make the best choice. That's all. Goodbye.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you, Tad. I totally agree. It's
Well
so
said.
important.
Well said. Thank you, Tad.
Stephanie, do you have any final
awesome.
thoughts?
No, I just thank you for doing this. I think it's important for the XJW community to be, up to date on all this. And I wish I could have been on better the other night. I kept getting cut off. I don't know what the heck was going on. But I was glad to be able to come back on tonight and be a part of this because it is something I'm kind of passionate about. So no, that's about it. Love you guys.
Love you too, Steph.
Thank you for joining, Steph.
Yeah. So let's all collaborate again in the future and let's keep up to date on all this craziness.
Yeah, Steph, hit me up on Twitter because I've got a group on the direct messages where
Okay.
there's about 30 of us in there, and we post stuff every day to try to educate each other.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my final thoughts. You ready for that, Ruby?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we seen with the DNC was exactly what we heard from Teddy. A lot of racial undertones in there. They're always talking about their democracy, which means all they're referring to is their system, their deep state globalist system. That's all they care about protecting. They don't give a rat's behind about we the people of the United States. They do not like us. They are the enemy. And so, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
Okay. So, I do think that this is going to be very interesting next 3 months. What's going to be interesting is what the internal polls tell the people that are pulling the strings or whatever. Because if they don't get a bump out of this convention and the polls start falling for Kamala, I do believe that we may see a change. I don't know if it'll happen or not. We'll see. It'll be interesting that if that does happen. I just think that there's a lot of things in play right now, and I think it's important for everybody to think with an open mind, put emotion aside. No matter what you see on the TV, remember, they just want to show you what they want you to see. And then just stay strong. Don't live in fear over the next 3 months, because that's what they're going to push. They thrive off of fear. And we can look at that crowd at the DNC, and they did not look like they were happy, joyful people like they were trying to present themselves as in the speeches.
I have to say that was a really good point, Jimmy. Yeah. Very
Thank
good
you.
point.
So, Ruby, I mean, as difficult as it has been to listen to this diatribe of BS, it's important. It's important that we've listened to it so we know what they're saying, we know what their plans are, and then we can combat that by putting out truth, countering what they're saying. Put it out on our platforms, share it with your friends, educate those family members that have no freaking clue what's going on in this world. And you don't have to start with the crazy conspiracies about JFK being alive or anything. You don't even need to go there. You can just look at the simple things that we're seeing, and try to bond with your family members or friends on things that you agree upon, and build from there.
Right.
And do it in a loving way. Be mutually respectful. And I think we'll win over the hearts and minds of this nation and bring back and unite all of us as one big United States American family.
Yay.
Wow. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Steph. Thank you to Teddy.
Yeah.
Thank you to Gigi. I would have not been able to do this if it wasn't for all of us here, the chat, the people joining. I would just literally be here by myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so glad that our community is finally getting out of that comfort zone and pushing themselves to at least have an open mind, like Jimmy said. Let's talk about what we agree on, and then let's move a little bit past that. So that's why I'm glad Gigi said that somebody contacted him that I was like triggering them. But did they come on stage? Did they discuss? Did they debate? Did they come to me? Did they go to the chat? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It would have been so nice to have that other voice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say all voices matter. All stories matter. I would have loved to have a counter to whatever I was saying at that time. But everything that I have done, I would say is pretty respectful. My show is not really disrespectful
100%.
Yeah. So I would agree. I wouldn't apologize necessarily to anybody who thinks or feels that they are triggered, because if that's the case, then we're doing a good job. I'm doing a good job. If you feel triggered or you feel uncomfortable, if you don't like being told the truth, then I think, in my opinion, that's a good thing. It motivates you to do research. It motivates you to reevaluate why you believe in what you believe in and what your principles are and what your beliefs are. And if you are willing to vote that way, or are you going to compromise on your principles and your beliefs? That's really what this is all about. We have seen clearly what both sides have stood for, and I have displayed that on this show, on this platform, everything. I have invited all political ideas and even guys from the UK. All right, Teddy's not the only UK Englishman I've had here. So you know what I'm saying? I have people from everywhere, even Tad from Japan. I invite everybody to come and to talk about these things. So I want to just thank everybody for being willing and open enough to do that. And you should vote this election in November. Vote
absolutely
any way you can. Register yourself to vote, educate yourself to vote, and do your own research. And on that day, you go and you vote. I already voted for my close primaries. So I voted for senator. I voted for school board. I voted for a lot of different things locally. That's what's more important.
Yes.
But now in November, go and vote.
Yes. Love it. All right. Peace out. I love you all. Oh, did you want to say something, Jimmy?
I'm just waiting for the next time we get together.
Yeah.
Yes. So next Tuesday, most likely I have like a scheduled show for then.
Let's keep in touch too. If tomorrow RFK, you know, the rumor is he's going to be joining Trump's endorsing Trump. So
and it's also been said by the Trump campaign that they are going to have a special guest because Trump is speaking in
Arizona
tomorrow night.
What time?
And I don't know what time, but I know JFK isn't RFK Jr. doing his announcement in Arizona?
I originally heard he was supposed to announce he was dropping out in LA on Friday.
That's not too far away from Arizona.
Right. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Tomorrow will be interesting.
Let me see.
Because I'm out. If it's in the evening, I'll probably just stream it.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll take me too long to find. But it is possible he's the special guest in Arizona. But that's just, speculation.
Yeah, it's speculation right now.
The other thing is he said the other speculation was he's going to announce it in LA tomorrow. So it'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. So, well, this has been fun. Right. I need to get to bed.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. Me too.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.